steel, a giant stance, a mech with heavy advanced commands, each step a quake, a thunderous might, eyes aglow in the endless night. A taint beneath, dark and vast, power fierce, shadows cast, a mighty taint beneath its core, a warrior spirit, ancient lore. Welcome, tainted, a lace-up tunic or medieval hoodie. Welcome, tainted, let's talk about color, or should we? Welcome, tainted, thinking outside the blocks. Welcome, tainted, thanks for joining us, you rock.
Welcome, everybody, to Think Outside the Blocks. Thank you for joining us. This is your weekly official Brickworld live stream where we talk to you about thinking outside the perceived rigidity of the Lego medium and also thinking outside of your mental blocks like I'm having right now. I, of course, am one of your hosts, Mark Larson, Chief Brick Officer of Brickworld. And this, the guy on my left, this guy over here, everyone's favorite host, Mr. Ben Hauger. How are you doing this week, sir?
I'm a little wet. We were just playing flag football and it's raining here.
Aha. Okay.
So I haven't yet recovered from a little bit of dampness going on, but I'll manage.
I'm sorry to hear that. You know, I don't know what's going to happen to us when we don't get pumped up by our new intro. I'm sad to think of the day where we won't absolutely love it. I was watching the counter go up in the corner of people who were viewing, and it started. We had 5 people watching as the stream started tonight, and during the intro song, it dropped down to 4. I was like, "Oh, someone doesn't like the song."
Oh,
Well, we're not interested
could you
in you
not like that?
watching our stream then. Yeah. So, yeah. How's your day?
Well, it's
Besides
going
being
all,
wet and
it's going all right. It's going
Yeah,
all right. We've
playing in the
got another Moto sighting.
hi, Moto.
I've noticed Moto creeping on a bunch of streams lately, so we're definitely going to have to give Moto a big hi and handshake at Brickworld. I'm guessing that he's been building like crazy, so he's sitting in front of the Lego table with a computer there, just watching all the streams while he builds. That's what I'm imagining.
I don't have a new song this week. However, I did work on one for Brickworld Week, and I specifically needed lyrics that rhymed with Moto.
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent.
What do you know? Hey, his
Photo.
muck is done now.
Wow, well,
That must be nice.
it must be. I don't know that feeling.
Start another one. You got a
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, why not?
What's going on?
Yeah. How are you today? I know you were doing some collating for Brickworld.
Yeah, thanks to Windy
But you
City
made
Lug.
it here in time, so how'd it go?
It went great. It was amazing. We had 15 members of Windy City Lug, which is about half of them, show up to the Renaissance and help me collate the swag bags. We're going to start calling them. It's hard for me to call them that. But since we're no longer selling them, we're just kind of offering them to sponsors and vendors as whatever they want to throw in there. And then we buy some parts to throw in there as well. But we got those all collated. 2,000 of them, just
Wow.
in case we end up with that many registrants. Right now we're at 1,750 registrants for this year's show. I don't know if that's a record or not. I think it might be a little bit lower than last year. Maybe it's a little bit higher. I don't know. I haven't had time to even check. I'll know by opening ceremonies though, because that's something I usually put into opening ceremonies. How many registrants are there and how many we had the previous year. But then we also collated most of the exclusive event set. Which is fantastic because having that off my plate, and that's something we did on the Sunday before the show last year. So we did it a week later, and then we did the goodie bag stuffing on Wednesday morning. Like we started at 8 a.m. and we weren't done by the time registration was supposed to open. So we held registration till 12:15, and the entire world was out there. Like that was kind of like okay for us to do. Get out of here.
Years, but not last year.
No, and I'm assuming the same thing might happen this year.
Yeah. Though, I mean, how much of that was
gifts.
the old, as we'd like to say, the new Hashima effect? You had a lot of people in last year who built for that.
Yeah.
Who came in really early because it took them, basically 2.5 days to set that monster up.
Mm-hmm. Well, so, I think also because that was a large group, but there wasn't just 76 people out there lined up for registration.
True.
There, like the lobby was packed, and just judging by our hotel block, We had people requesting more rooms for Tuesday,
Okay.
and like we have a couple of staff that are coming in who are also AFOLs that requested Tuesday night
Well, people
hotel,
just
and
can't wait to get there, I guess.
which is not a bad thing. Not
Yeah.
a bad thing at all. I will say, our layout managers, Kevin and Allie, who set up, they do the entire display map, which is not an easy task at all. When they came to the Renaissance today to help out, oh, and Tim Lighty was there as well. Um, they they said, "What about moving this to a bigger venue?" So Brickworld 2027, we'll start exploring those options this year to see if we can move on over to a bigger venue here in the city, uh, closer to the train, closer to the airport,
Or we
more
could just
amenities,
put the GBC out in the hallway.
a lot
People
higher
love
price.
the GBC. There's,
Yeah,
I just want to move something that people are going to go see, even if it's somewhere else, and that like immediately comes to my mind is it takes up a decent amount of space, but more importantly, everyone needs to see the Great Ball Contraption. If you're a first timer at
yeah,
Brickworld Chicago, that's one of the highlights for sure.
1,000%.
So you'll definitely want to go check that out if you don't know what it is.
Um, oh, whoops, wrong one. Here we go. This is what I wanted to bring up. We haven't seen them for a while, but Pink Wheels is in the house. Welcome back. Pretty much 2.5 days left. I mean, because that's how I feel.
I think that was to set up New Hashima. It was straight
Oh,
two and a
oh,
half
oh, oh.
days.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. No, it nonstop. I think they got in there, like some of them got there like Sunday night, Monday night. Like they were there when I got there on Monday, building in the
Yeah.
lobby. Um, oh, Castle is here. He says Brickworld Chicago needs more space. Does it? Not McCormick, sir. No, no. It would be. We would go to Rosemont to that one. Those table assignments are God's work. Yes. Yes, and Allie and Kevin are both gods for sure. They are working so hard to make sure that everybody gets in. Thank you to everyone who, by the way, has responded to our email about giving up display space if you need it. By the way, I have a perfect example of that. Ben, you can have all my display space.
Thank you,
You're welcome.
because I need it.
Talk, talk to Tim because Nicole had some mosaics and he'd already given her space for it. So make sure, because he thought my display was going to be 5x5, and I'm like, oh no, I started expanding in the last couple weeks, and then just I didn't put two bricks together this week, but for this I did for
For the other
the
collab, yes.
collab, yeah.
Yes.
Well, and that's not true actually. I did I put more than two bricks together on this, but I was like. I think it was last night, maybe the night before, because I can't tell the difference between days anymore at this point. Um,
Yeah.
I was like, I moved some plants over, and I was like, no, I can't. There's no point. I'm not gonna like. I keep saying, and this happens every year. I'm like, get the Brickworld stuff done, and then build for the rest of the night. And then it's 2 a.m. and I'm still getting the
Yeah.
Brickworld stuff done. I'm like, I am tired.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I requested 3 tables. I think like 5 is still probably not enough, but we'll see. So
Right.
it's
Right.
how it went this year.
Yeah. Moto, this is the trick Ben tried to pull on me last year, and I almost died. He's like, you pulled out some amazing stuff in just a couple days before. And I was like, all right, I'll try it. And then like 3 a.m. the night before I was supposed to go pack the truck and take off, I was still sitting there. I worked as long as I could. And then I built the custom boxes. That's what we were talking about last week. That's why I'm like, I need at least 3 days to make sure that I'm building these custom boxes. So that would mean me finishing this entire thing by Thursday. Not
It's a
going to happen.
bit of a struggle, but that's all right.
Yeah. Reed asks, do you have my list of sellers for the yard sale? So let's not talk Brickworld business on the
No,
live stream
not
because
right away.
yeah. And if you do want that, I would say text David Turner or hit him up on Discord because he's the tech guy. He's the one. If I wasn't on a live stream right now, I would text him and be like, hey, can you? Or I would text you and him at the same time and be like, Reed needs the yard sale sellers. We didn't sell all the tables. That means we're doing
Okay.
something right.
Okay.
Yeah. We didn't even sell all the lottery, like because we're doing this the Taggart time star. Hello,
The staggered time start.
time star.
Yes.
Yeah, the staggered entry. Those didn't disappear either. So we have a good setup this year.
Good.
Reed, I like the setup that you ended up going with for the layout And now thank you for not listening to what I wanted to do, because I think looking at it now and seeing the feedback from the Renaissance, I think that is the best way to do it. Um, and excellent job, sir.
Okay.
So hey, do we have a run a show
We
for the night?
do.
'Cause
We do.
I got home like 5 minutes before this started. Well, I got done helping Alex Sneer, Mr. Hawkeye Lego Man, one of our members who is watching but is working because he's putting our program together tonight. I got to answer a couple questions from him and then jump out the live stream. Oh, I
All
also,
right.
you know what I did? I took a shower and I ate a sandwich.
Good work. I've got my
I did that.
dinner partially eaten, sitting here on the table, but we can start with the run of show, and maybe I can tell you why that is.
Look,
Um,
Reed, Moto's thanking us.
yeah. So
Yes,
today's
thank
show brought to
you.
you by W. No, that's the wrong letter. It's actually Z.
I thought it might be
Um,
Z.
I
That's weird
didn't
that it
get
says W.
to didn't get to the didn't get to that,
I
but we're
could
going to
jump in there
talk
and edit
about
it real fast.
we're going to talk about Z's coaching flag football today. I got the shirt on again. We got a week off last week for Memorial Day, so how did that go? We'll talk about that. Then we'll talk about zoos for people, though no one wants to do the people zoo with me, but maybe we'll talk about some other mocks. Then
Right?
we're going to talk about Zelda and
Oh,
maybe some more
duh.
news.
Yep,
We'll
yep,
do
gotcha.
this or that, close call, and we'll do some zingers because it'll be time to rant. And then
Nice.
last but not least, zipping along, one more show until we're at Brickworld after this one. So the
Hey,
countdown is on.
and I plan to be here next week. Actually, it'll be my
Awesome.
last hurrah before Phoebe and Nathan and Brian and Martha Elzer, who you guys know as the guys who put out the stanchions, um, will be helping me load the truck,
Hmm.
which is amazing because I typically load that by myself for the expos. That is unfair to say because I've had help for Chicago the last couple of years. But to
Yeah.
have four people and possibly the Bonahooms as well, I forget. I forget if it's four people helping me or six people helping me. But Windy City Lug is going to show up and help us unload the truck.
Wow.
Like, what's happening?
What is up with Windy City Lug?
They're pretty fantastic.
They are indeed.
And you
Okay,
know who's
well,
been? Guess who's been denied our lug status 3 times?
who
Windy City Lug.
Windy City Lug? How do you know? How did you know? How did I know that that was who it was going to be?
I'm like, how, I know because they told me.
Well, I know why you know.
All right, I couldn't edit the slides, and you took it down anyway, just because I can't find it.
That's fine. I can fix it, but we'll
Blah,
fix it later.
blah.
We won't worry about it at this moment. So let's start with coaching. It was flag football today. My team was hot at 2-1, but we got a week off, and apparently we got some rust because we
Rust.
didn't win today, but we played hard. It was
Thanks.
raining, and because it was raining, we dropped a couple of passes that could have turned the tides, but that's okay. So we played hard, and we'll be back at them again next week. My last game to coach
I was
before the
say,
playoffs, which I'm going to miss because I'll be at Brickworld.
oh
So,
no, who's gonna coach?
well, I have an assistant coach who's just as capable, if not more capable than me anyway. So that
That's good.
doesn't really matter. But Miles will be missed. He won't get to play. He's a defensive whiz. He's a flag pulling maniac out there on
That's
the
great.
field. Yep, which is what you need to win.
Yeah, absolutely. I fixed it, by the way.
Thank you. I'll have to
I
reload it,
have.
but that's okay.
I'm so proud of myself. I'm
Cool.
so incredibly proud of myself.
Let me see if I pull it in. Let's see if you did indeed fix it. Here it comes. It's still processing. Here it is. Look at that.
Oh, brought to you by Z.
Brought to you by Z. Okay, so let's talk about People Zoo or other mocks maybe.
Not
I
for me,
I don't think
just
we have
you.
any People Zoos, so I guess we will
Now,
talk about the mocks today. So what
no
do we
zoos for
have?
zoos for people. We have the arachnid mech. I was like,
We
heavy
have
pants. Wait, it's not heavy pants.
we have we have the Spider Mac. We got to hold it down today. Here we go. We're flying all over the place. We'll solo this bad boy. One of us will solo it. So this is what we've got.
Creepy doll.
The base itself is a circle. All
Yeah,
this stuff down here does light up, but mostly because it already had a transparent blue or translucent blue bit down at the bottom there. So needed something to keep it stable enough to display. It does or it can turn pretty well. on my circular base here. Head
Yeah.
bobbles a little bit, but there we go. Just a little something to uh, highlight the mech so he's not just standing on a black table.
Yeah. So
Um,
Reed says he's built a new computer to stream from while in Chicago. He built it Thursday night and it took 6 hours. It's not
yes.
in a spaceship or castle yet. So he's competing with you there.
Yeah, I've teased him a few times because he built a new computer. It's not even water cooled, so I don't even know what the point is.
I mean, he built a bunch of castles that didn't even have computers in them.
I know. What's the point?
What's
What is he
up with
even
Reed?
doing?
Can I ask you a question about this?
Yes.
What so the transparent blue
Yeah.
underneath, what is that representing?
Well, so there is sort of this big engine piece underneath. There's actually a couple of them.
Yes.
Because I figure that this arachnid mech is one that likes to transport himself around via this sort of jumping mechanism. And so that's
Hmm.
what he shoots out to take off and land when he's doing his arachnidy stompy business. Does it make a lot of sense? I don't know,
I
but it's
so
there.
it does make sense, and I would like it if that I like your description of the effect better than the execution thereof, because right now it looks like he's ejecting water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hold on.
Or he's drilling maybe something, but it does also perhaps look like he's a tinkle monster. They're like, run away, he's peeing. Sorry,
A tinkle
that's
monster.
a tinkle monster.
There we go.
So Moto says this has the best Exoforce vibe, which I
Yeah,
think is quite a compliment. I think this is like
there we go.
Exoforce on speed. I really like the skull sticker on the front
Yeah, we got to add some
leg
skulls.
there.
There now we've got
Yeah,
the lighting flashing, sort of pulsing. So maybe that helps make it look less like he's peeing
yeah.
when it goes off here. Whoosh. I think I need to
Us
speed it up though.
Stud Sidious is going Navi, and I'm not sure exactly what's happening. Um,
But there we go. So there's the extra bit there. The mech is run off of chi from Chima. I don't think so, but
oh yeah.
he is doing sort of this. See now that it's pulsing, I think it's seems a
I
little
said
less
P.
like he's tinkling and
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
said P. Reed said chi.
yeah.
And it's
And I
not
went
exactly. I like the pulsing P.
yeah. Then I went with sort of the more recent city space characters here. So the landscape's got the little purple crystals, kind of a little silly little crossover.
Was I yelling, "Hey, listen" at you?
So
You guys, my brain. I've been up since 6:45 a.m., which may not sound early to most of you because maybe that's when a lot of you get up for work. That's about 3 hours earlier than I typically get up. And on a Sunday, it's about, I don't know, 10 hours earlier than I get up.
10 hours, yeah.
Okay.
The only other thing, there was a couple other spots on this that weren't done,
Yeah.
so I finished the spots that weren't done as well. So now everything is finished off, and this one is ready for packing for Chicago. I am now switched over to my second to last mock, which is a secret mock. It is a collab between me and my wife. She just doesn't know it.
Oh, interesting.
And
How
I
did you
can't,
get her to participate in that case?
well, when you see the mock, it will all make sense.
Okay.
But I can't show it on camera because she sometimes sneaks in and watches.
It's a mosaic of her asleep.
That would be interesting, wouldn't
I'm
it?
gonna guess. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that.
No, it's not that. But let me show you um, right here. This is important. This is important here.
Someone wants to talk about the Zelda set.
I don't know why. This is an important part of
Okay,
the collaboration right
it's
here.
it's weird. It looks like your wife.
Kinda, yeah,
Yeah,
kinda.
she knows it's happening.
She does, but that's all
She's
she
on to
knows.
you.
Yes, she knows. I mean, she's my collaborator. She just doesn't know what the final result will be yet.
She must have heard the clicking while she was sleeping, as
Could
you were
be,
trying to get all the proportions correct.
could be, could be.
Ugh, I'm so tired. I don't even know if I'm making sense.
Yeah. So there we go. So we've got another one down with the pulsing P.
Z's spouse is the mayor of VMAC City.
I don't know if that's right, but that's okay. I mean, she
Sometimes I
could
think
be.
somebody's watching me. Um, I don't know what that quote is from, but I do think that sometimes I feel like somebody's watching me. The song is one of the creepiest songs out of the 80s. Um, heard it at a bar once on from a jukebox. That's how long ago this was. And it was Kid Bop.
The Kids
And that
Bop version?
the Kids Bop version of I always feel like somebody's watching me is probably one of the creepiest things I've ever experienced in my life. Stud City says I just wanted to impersonate Navi because she's such an annoying character from the game. But I maybe on replay I'll understand this, but why?
I don't know if
But
these
like,
are
were
all
you
just in reference to Zelda or what we've got going on here, but
trying to get our attention? Stash says Rockwell. You guys, what's happening? I with backup vocals by Michael Jackson.
yeah.
Yeah, the song Creeper lyrics. Okay. Yeah, the song
There are a
Creeper lyrics.
number
Oh
of
yeah, yeah. Okay, yay, cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
there are a
sometimes I feel
number
like
of those
somebody's watching me
songs
as
that are like that.
Creeper song. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? One of the worst ones is Take on Me by Aha.
Uh-huh.
That is creepy as that is so stalkery.
Or when you find out Sweet Caroline's about a president's daughter when she was
Ba
nice and
ba
young.
ba. Sorry, I'm too white and too male to not do that when you say Sweet Caroline.
That's true.
Stash is in the house.
Yeah.
I
So here
like
we
it. By
go.
the way, I like this base. I like that it's cracking through some stone structure here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Well,
that. Oh, it's
a
on a
little bit of a
hinge.
mess.
Ooh,
Yeah.
smart. I feel like that last little to the left of the hinge,
This one?
maybe left,
This
our
one.
left. Sorry, not stage
Yeah.
left, house
Yep.
left. Maybe a little thicker,
Yeah, it does need a little more action, I think.
but I like the shape
Nice is
of
this one I
what's.
like.
It looks like a duck.
Kind
Hey,
of.
if pareidolia is seeing faces in inanimate objects, what is seeing ducks in inanimate objects?
Uh,
I need to know.
Ducadolia.
I don't think so. But I do like the shape of what you have that it's crashing through because it looks like it's more than just like rock work. It looks like it's walls of
Yeah.
some sort of space base. These the factions you have here are fantastic. I love the story that's being told. There is not much more of an alien planet present in this base, but I think the story is so much more compelling.
Yeah, I think it could use some more alien landscape. At least it's not one color, but we're running out of time. I've got other things I need to move on to. And hopefully, for the most part, people will pay attention to the chonkified mech. And
Yeah,
the base is just adding a little ambiance.
they're gonna ask why it's
Uh,
peeing, but is
maybe
that is the part that makes the pee like that 2x3 trans blue panel? Is that holding it up? Is
it,
that a
it is.
little bit of a cheat? Okay.
It I could take it out, but then I couldn't guarantee it would stay the entire time, nor could I pose the legs poking through quite as nicely,
Yeah.
or picking some of them slightly up off the ground. But if I did take out the support, it would stand, but this entire thing would dip about another quarter inch. So
Respect.
it's kind of a nice little bonus. If the head wasn't so deliciously chonky, that might not
Deliciously
happen.
chunky. Yes,
But
sir.
it is
Yep.
deliciously chonky, and you can already see just
Yeah,
moving it.
agreed.
Just makes it go whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, good chunk there.
Little weeble
Um,
wobble there.
oh, so Reed says, we are building here. The public go, ooh, ah, and how long did it take you to build that? That's kind of, yeah. He's looking for some chunkified. He wants his mechs to get more attention, so he chunkified them. This has been
Chonkify.
Project Chunkify.
Chonkify my Mac, yep. And he's
Rob Claxton is finally here. Where have you been?
nice and chonky now.
I like your creepy dollhouse.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's creepy.
that's almost ready to go. Just needs a little bit of furniture.
Yeah, mine needs a lot of
That's
stuff.
okay.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah, hey, you know what? Moto says the old lightsaber blades bars are polycarbonate. Would that hold it up?
Maybe. But this is kind of fun with
Oh,
the
so Moto, by the way, so are the transparent pieces. Those are polycarb as well.
yeah. It stands up pretty well. Just kind of I feel like I need to get the pulsing moving a little faster because right now it's just sort of
I don't mind the pace of the pulse.
But there you go.
Yeah, well, now I do agree because like some people's attention span might look at it for the exact amount of time that the pulse is off.
Yep. That's kind of how it goes.
Yeah, this is great, Ben.
But there we go. So
This has
this
been really
is
exciting to watch you chunkify these because your first insect mech was fantastic.
Yeah, he's
And
6
then you
legs, but
really turned this into something, because at first I
there we
thought it
go.
was kind of like chunkification at the expense of detail, and you proved me
No,
wrong, that's for sure.
that's not how we roll. We got to do both.
No, you definitely know how to do
We
both.
got
Yeah,
to do
that's
both. So
fantastic.
there we go.
Yeah, good for you. This is quite a success. I'm dying to see the heavy pants base.
Yeah,
I'm dying.
that one's a little different. I think you'll enjoy that one too. It needs a touch more work now that I said I was done with it. After building this one, I need to make a few changes to it, but for the most part, it's going to have a different story. But I think I think you'll like it too. So
So
there we
Moto
go.
says, and I have a feeling that Ben's using older pieces anyway, but that's okay. The newer the newer trans elements are now transitioning. There we go, to ABS and are softer. Boo! I mean, that was part of the problem of using the polycarb. Is it also like kind of compresses at a faster rate than ABS? Like with it expands and contracts.
Yeah, I mean
They're
the
always
new
a little
stuff
bit off.
too is, and I don't know what they're
Really
doing
cool,
with it,
Mac.
but it's a little less clear, looks a little muddier with the new stuff they're doing.
It's kind of what
So
Reed's saying here. There's a little bit of a UV tint to them. Is that what you mean?
yeah, I mean it's some of them look a little foggier. I would say they don't look quite as crystal clear. And there are some other ones too. Like I don't know if that's part of the reason they're now doing the trans black, which used to be trans black is now trans brown, and the newer colors darker with a little bit of a purplish tinge. If all of that's kind of part of moving over to the new plastic for that kind of stuff. So hard to say.
Yeah. Interesting
Hard
what
to
they
say.
do with a lot of stuff. That was quite the
Yeah.
sentence.
It almost sounds like you could rant on that, but I don't know.
I don't think I can. I think I was just randomly saying words that somehow ended up fitting together.
Yes.
Much to my
Hello,
surprise.
adult friends of Lego. Hello, my other friend. I did want to show you this too. I know I
Okay.
showed you that I had this the other day
Mhm.
when we were on the Brickworld hype stream over.
Yes, that was fun.
Yes, on our friends at ACOB. I'd sent you a picture that I had this and you booed me,
Oh. Haha.
but I'm going to show it here quick. Fun hole,
You got a fun hole.
day and night delight. And I'm going to tell you a couple things about this.
All right, go for well, I'm gonna put your ass on I'm gonna make you own this. Here, what's
Yeah.
up? Show it.
So Fun Hole, they had a sale
Boo. Should we boo
to
him?
get like 20% off. There are definitely some elements on here that are clearly very Lego inspired. Whether or not they're a ripoff, I couldn't tell you. Or if there's any copyright infringement, also couldn't tell you. But they aren't the cheapest.
Yeah.
They are still pricey, even at 1,600 pieces. On some of those pure knockoff brands, they'd be $40. This one was still close to 100.
Yeah.
But because it was on sale, I picked it up. I haven't built it yet. I don't know how the pieces are in terms of quality.
16 plus.
But who knows? Yeah, I don't
Who
know.
do you think they are?
I don't know. We'll find out if Fun Hole is any good. I'll tell you right now, the box is hefty and of decent quality.
Looks...
Don't know how the bricks are though yet.
Yeah, this is dangerous territory. I think we have to. We didn't find out from Stud Sidious when he texted us that he found Cherry Vitality Beach.
He absolutely bought it. I have no doubt he bought it.
We need a review of that. What the heck is Fun Hole? It sounds kinky.
Yes.
Well, Moto, you're not supposed to say that part.
Very much.
You're just supposed to say, "Oh, you got a fun hole."
Yes.
And just leave it there. That's.
Yeah. So I don't know. It could be a piece of garbage. I'm expecting the brick quality to be, somewhat less than Lego, but I haven't opened it. It's just, I'm in the grinder right now. I don't have time. So.
Stream. What's up? Rob Claxton, you just became a YouTube member. Well, I got something for you. Give me 1 second.
Welcome to Blockoverse, no souls around. Cheap sights and sounds, no life to be found. Photoshop toys on twin Siamese. Fathers and sons making IEDs. Welcome to the Blockleverse, everyone is checked. Water slides are funny, hands are grotesque. Car pest police, house cake topped off. Minnie's passed out, her head's popped off. Welcome to the Blockleverse, where dreams distort. Bad Photoshop, orphans in an eastern port.
Rob Claxton, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you a ton. Now I got to re-edit the intro
You do.
so that we can add Rob Claxton's name to our member list. If you have no idea what just happened, Rob Claxton joined us, which you can also do for $1.99 a month. I don't know, something like that.
The
It's something that
pareidolia
ends-
level.
Pareidolia level. That's the only level available right now. And so you get fun emojis that you can post in the chat. They're Fabuland based. There's a cow, a walrus, a sheepdog, and a crocodile. Maybe
Victor the crocodile, yes.
yeah. And then you can you get your little badge in the chat, and the longer you remember, the different you get a different color or so. I don't know. So there's a bunch of stuff that happens. Ben and I are working on something better to to entice more people to join. But those are kind of VMAC Attack just use the special emojis you can use
We did.
in the chat, and now Rob Claxton can do so as well. So thank you, sir. We very much appreciate your support, and we appreciate everyone's support just by showing up every week and watching. We appreciate you guys a lot. And like Ben just pointed out, you can also just like and subscribe.
Yes, indeed.
I think a lot of you are subscribed, but always hit that like button, especially if you enjoy what you're seeing, especially when it's random songs about the evil Blockleverse, which Ben is now joined. I'd say your family should probably sleep in another house for a few nights if you brought Blockleverse into your home. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. When I open this thing up, if it's just, it's a fun hole, it's like a black hole, is it just gonna like suck me in?
Orphanage.
But
yeah, seriously.
Stud
Latest
City
Sam.
Says fathers and sons making IED still gets me. The one that I've laughed at every time, even though I've heard it 7 times, is Minnie's passed out and her head pops off. That gets me every time. Every time.
My favorite one is still. Wait, what is that? Oh, some alarm just went off in the utility room. I'm sure everything's fine. Welcome to the Blockerverse. Everyone is check is my favorite. So I did some equipment upgrade this week. I think it was my hub that was causing my internet connection to be slow because it killed 2 mice in a row. The fun hole always sucks you. I love the tainted. I really love the tainted. Yeah. So we'll see. If I don't freeze tonight, then it was definitely my Belkin hub, and now I'm gone with an anchor, and maybe that's better.
Okay.
We'll find out.
Yeah, I think I've got a Netgear Nighthawk. I think that's what we're running.
And yeah. Well, I bought.
That's my Nighthawk.
I got 2 new hubs just to try out a couple, and have one for being on the road. And it turns out that a lot of these hubs don't do the multi-screen display on Mac iOS.
Oh, okay.
I could do a full rant about that one, and that'd be a very serious rant, and it might get my blood pressure really high. So I still have the Belkin attached to one side so I can have my array, and then I have the anchor attached to the other side just to see if the internet's better.
With the network adapter on that side.
Yeah, the network light is flashing, which I was like, oh, I don't remember the last time I saw that happen on the Belkin. The Belkin is like 3 or 4 years old now, so
who knows?
It had a good run.
We've also got someone I haven't seen in the chat here. Our Toy World saying hello.
He's been here, but it's been a while. Yep.
All right.
Or I've seen him on other streams. I don't remember anymore. Everything just blurs together.
Who knows?
Yeah, in the Blockoverse, streams distort, and so apparently there's some here in the house too. Yeah. Also, Stud Cities, be careful. You brought the Blockoverse into your house as well. He found Cherry Vitality Beach.
Cherry Vitality Beach. That is featured prominently in several of our outros.
Yeah.
One of my favorites, of course, because that was where we first saw the sticker people. Where the sets don't have any figures.
Yes, Stud.
So in their lifestyle shots, they got the little stickers as people instead.
You're gonna be all hanging out, like you're just gonna be like sleeping, and there's just sticker people are just gonna walk down the hallway and they're gonna be like, "Wee, we're at the water slide park," and you're gonna be like, "No, you're not. You're at my house. Get out!"
Hmm.
And you're gonna scream and run out of the house. Um, where are the Dots pretzels at? Oh, we stopped eating those because I got really dry from them. Yeah, it's been a while since I ate them. I think I overate them.
They're still
We
delicious.
still love them. Yes, Dots, please give us
Um,
your Dots money, which we never had in the first
we never
place.
did, no.
But yeah, it's
But
been a while since I've touched one.
yeah, we've had a lot more actual
Oh, he's
Lego
shaking his head
friends
at
want
us.
us to promote Lego-y things on the stream, which is good,
I guess it's been a while since we actually promoted them. The
right?
Zevia is still here. Like that's
Zevia
here.
is
Don't
still
worry about
here.
that.
Yes, indeed.
Well, speaking of sponsors, I should bring up ours.
Yeah, why don't you do that,
Uh,
and I can finish my taco here before we move
oh,
on.
because I'm not ready. So let's talk about your taco, and let me pull up all because I now I have to do the Brickworld sponsors. So let me
This
think of who they even are.
Because we lost today at flag football, and I had to drown my sorrows. I got takeout from the taco house,
Oh, nice.
which of course is delicious. But the taco is getting a little soggy while it waits for me here.
All
So
right.
there we
Well,
go.
I
That
have
was my taco talk. Let's talk
that's
about our sponsors.
great. Well, I have not pulled them all up yet, so let's just remind everyone what set Stud City has found
Oh
at
yes.
the Goodwill.
I love the here's better than any other one we've seen because they're not just animated characters added in. They're like flat stickers with white outlines just playing in the pool. It's like, well, you don't get any minifigs, but you could pretend with sticker people. And the sticker people don't even come with the set. They're just, showing you like what you could pretend that these exciting friends are doing at the Cherry Vitality Beach.
Here's what you can do. Vitality water bar drink to your heart's content, which is definitely
Yep.
excellent grammar. Water curtain door. It opens. That's
Yeah.
great. There's a leisure
You'd
section.
want it to do that.
There's a life-saving observation spot. There's a swim shop. Stand in the observatory to enjoy the breathtaking view. The exciting and funny water slide. Sit in the beach chair and enjoy sunbath.
Sunbath. Yep.
Yes, lockers.
But here's my favorite. The ice cream van, baby. That's a van.
Why is there a fish on it?
That is the coolest van I've ever seen. Yeah, what is that fish for? I have no idea.
Go into the shower room to wash the sand off your body.
Well, it's a
Ooh.
good suggestion.
Ooh, look, they made different flag molds, or they photoshopped in something and folded it.
Okay, that was 3 hours Ben and I spent going into the Blockoverse the first night we discovered it. A portion of that is available on our YouTube channel. If you look into the videos, when I was in Italy and Ben was very busy with other stuff, we couldn't do the show. I put up a couple hours, or I think just one solid hour of it. And we'll hit that more after Brickworld. And I'll pull some more clips out of that. There's a bunch on TikTok if you want to follow our Tip Top. What's happening? All right, so hey, check it out. This is one of our sponsors for Brickworld Chicago this year, the Brick Chest. Very cool guy in the first place, just like a good person. But check his site out. He's got a lot of great products on there. Sells Lego. What do you know? We got Bricks O'Brien is going to be there, and he is doing a lot for us this year. He's got a little booth there. He's going to be doing some activities with people. He's going to have his book that he co-wrote with Kevin Hinkle. I believe he wrote it, and Kevin Hinkle did the illustrations. The Minifig Club would be there. And can I tell you right now, not exactly sure it's one of those subscription services, and they do a lot of fun stuff. They'll get you minifig parts and accessories, plus stickers, postcards, and a collectible mini theme package. Themed magnet, and it comes to you every month. So check them out if that sounds intriguing to you. Canada First Bricks, largest and most varied shop in Canada, and one of the top Lego parts shops in the world. This is where we bought the trophy parts for the Lego Brick World Awards this year. Our Brickworld Award trophies is what I should say. Bricker Builds, of course, will be there. They do a lot of fun stuff. If you are unfamiliar with them, they make fun things like the hydro turtle, or the Italian plumber, or the Minneapa, the Yellow Star life-size sculpture. And you can see something like this, like Cap Shield, is $700. However, they have some more reasonably priced stuff, and just have really amazing designs. I bought this for my sister for Christmas. She loved it because we love that movie. Um, NASCAR is sponsoring Brickworld this year. So if you live in the Chicagoland area or in the Midwest and you want to come out and see a street race, come out and see NASCAR Chicago Street Race, and make sure you stop by their booth and talk to them while you are at the show this year. They will be there Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at registration. So if you have any questions about the Chicago Street Race, they will be there to answer your question. Um, Bricks and Minifigs is sponsoring us. Not only Bricks and Minifigs corporate, but also Bricks and Minifigs Crest Hill. Bricks and Minifigs will have a giant booth there promoting their local stores, but also Bricks and Minifigs Crest Hill, of course, brings us the what's it called? The improv show and the Fold concert, but they're also sponsoring the improv show this year, which is fantastic. If you are unaware or you haven't been to Chicago before, some actors from Second City and Improv Olympic come together and do a Lego themed improv show, and tickets are $15. You can get them through your registration, and all the proceeds from the ticket sales go to charity. And so why is Bricks and Minifigs sponsoring a show where all the proceeds go to charity? Well, they decided to step in this year and pay the actors for their time. So thank you, Bricks and Minifigs Crest Hill. Who's, by the way, if you guys know the owner of Bricks and Minifigs Crest Hill, you know how prolific he is about supporting the Lego community. So he's come up with a lot of great ideas. The improv show was his idea. We did it through friends of his, and we're on a different site now, but I'm still talking about the owner of Bricks and Minifigs Crest Hill. And then, of course, he is the one who introduced us to the Fold, and that's why the Fold concert is happening. You can buy tickets to the Fold concert also through your registration, or through Eventbrite if you search Brickworld events. Crazy Bricks, you should know who these guys are. They did the Dino Riders. These are very fun. He'll be there at Brickworld Chicago this year, and he's one of our sponsors. Eclipse Graphics, who are those guys? Any idea? Of course you do. They're Eclipse Graphics. They're one of our sponsors this year as well. If you don't know who they are, check this out immediately, because A, they're funny, B, these are really well made custom accessories. And then, of course, let's get to our charity partners. Along with Lurie Children's Hospital of Chicago and Make-A-Wish Illinois, we will have Bricks of Hope there. They have procured 2,061,030 bricks into the hands of children, sick children, and that is what their charity is about. If you have the means, please donate to them. They're doing great work with their charity there. And then, of course, we have Little Bricks Charity, which is very similar, getting Lego sets into the hands of sick children. You might know this guy from social media. He's the guy who does the brick walk, which is very much like the coal walk, like the fire walk or whatever, but except he walks across brick. And I believe during the pandemic, he walked on a mile of bricks, set the world record for walking on Lego bricks. Sounds sane, right? So those are our sponsors for this year. Of course, I skipped our live stream sponsors. I'm sorry, our content creator sponsors, which are, of course, ACOB, official host of Brickworld this year, D's Bricks, who has a great store. He's also one of my staff members. And most of the parts that you see when I'm building a mock on here, which I didn't do this week, are from his store. D's Bricks has great minifigures and sets. And then he has Big As Bricks, BIGASBRICKS.com. I'm sorry, is the store name on Bricklink, and he's got a great loose parts and minifig selection there as well. And then Superhawk on TikTok. They are in charge of our activity area this year, and they do all of our expos as well. So thanks to all those people, and I can't believe I got all that out rather, more concisely than I have in the past.
Yeah.
Not quite as concise as I did last week, but I think I hit everybody. And if we take another break for sponsors, I will actually bring up Superhawk, ACOB, D's Bricks, so everyone can see. Oh, and Brickshell cases. Well, let's take another sponsor break.
Of course,
later.
for sure.
Yeah, we'll do another commercial in about 30 minutes or so. What's next on the list? Because somebody I know needs a bathroom break.
Well, we are, of course, going to talk about Zelda.
Oh, duh. Yeah, go ahead and take me out as this starts. I'll jump in for the lifestyle shots at least.
Oh, sure.
Shouldn't take me that long, but
all right.
you never know.
So
we're gonna talk about this one for a while anyway.
Yeah, so we'll solo me temporarily, and then we are going to pull up our news. And I don't know what we should start with here. It could be that we start with, nope, it is going to be Zelda. The Great Deku Tree. Here it is. It is a surprise, a 2-in-1. They have two versions of the tree that they happen to pull up here. And there were leaks of the Deku tree for a while. We're going to just remove Mark there quickly. And they actually had both versions leak online. And so because of that, it was kind of like, which one is going to be the actual set? Is one of these not the Great Deku Tree Zelda set? Or are they both the set? And it turns out they both were. What's, I think, good about this in particular, one of the things that I like, is that it has two versions, actually more than two versions, several versions of Link, both from the Ocarina of Time as well as Breath of the Wild. So we have a couple different versions of Link, depending on which version of the Deku tree you built. Let's see here. We'll get a big box shot here. And so here is here we can see Breath of the Wild and Ocarina of Time up here as the option. I don't know which one is considered the A build. I think maybe it's this one. I think I like this one a little better. It also has the Master Sword and the Master Shield, as you can see down here. So those are exclusive molds. I'm sure they will be very popular with castle builders as well. So there's some very interesting bits here. However, the big probably thing that most people are going to talk about with this set is the price. So it tips the scales at 2,500 pieces, comes in at 300 smackaroonies. We did quite a bit of discussion on ACOB, who, look at that, happens to be popping in now, about
Speak of
whether
the
or
devil.
not $300 was a good price for this.
Yeah, we did, and that's almost all I've talked to people about. I told Tim Lighty today, and he's like, "I wonder how crisp that $100 bill is that comes in each set." And I defended it from the get-go. I'm full price Jones, day one on this one for myself. What are your thoughts on that, Ben? You still think it's overpriced after all the dissection of this we did on Thursday?
Yeah, I mean, I understand that there's a license fee associated with this.
Correct, but
There's
again,
also sort of the entry tax. It's kind of a
Bowser,
will people
yes,
pay this type
yes,
test.
and I think they will. Especially people who aren't familiar with the value of Lego and what the price per price per parts ratio. I had that problem on Thursday too.
AKA the normies, as people would call them, or maybe the Zelda fans who don't know what a Lego set does cost. There's also the really
Correct.
old folks who say $100 for chunks of plastic. That's already too much. $300 is insane.
Listen,
We have
Rob.
that, right?
This is what Sean's been trying to get us to nail down. It caused me a near meltdown trying to get it into the schedule. the first I haven't even talked to you about this. The first time that we suggested for our live stream is during the low sensory night. Not like you and I are loud. Not like you're loud, and not like I'll be there.
Yeah. The Brick Orphanage asks, are there a ton of custom molds for fig parts? There are quite a few new molds in the set.
Yeah.
Which is another thing we talked about. Not only do we have the Link hairpiece here, you can also see he's holding the Ocarina of Time here. We also have the Master Sword and
cool.
Shield, as we saw on this previous spot here, as well as all of the parts being printed, which I know is a big thing for some people.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny. Sean asked us what we thought about that, or said he didn't know what we would think about that on ACOB when we were talking about it. He never let us actually answer about what we think about stickers.
Well, we got into a different subject like immediately.
Yeah, we moved on to that, but
we both laughed because we were like, "Hey."
Yeah, we don't have the same opinion as he does. I'll say that. Though I think for certain types of sets, maybe this one included, you probably are building it for display. It's not a good value for a parts pack necessarily. So having all the parts printed is probably nice. Would I pay an extra $50 to have all printed parts? My answer would be no. I'd rather have the stickers and save $50, but that's me.
Yeah, I do like printed parts better than sticker parts, though. Again, stamps are bad always.
Yeah.
Um, Stud Sidious says he likes making small NES game dioramas, so he really likes the fig selection, but he called it a giant Duplo
Ooh,
tree.
I think that's a little
Why?
harsh. I don't think
Why do you
that's true
say
at all.
that?
Yeah,
I
it's
thought he
kind
was
of
our
mean, Stud.
friend. Yeah, I don't know what's up.
I don't know about you.
Brick Orphanage says, "Are there a ton of?" Oh, you already did that. Sorry.
Yes, there are.
Uh, yes,
Yep.
yes. Again, the figs will be expensive on the aftermarket. That was one of my points. They're going to be like
Yeah.
$20, $30 a piece if you go into after, especially if you're buying them at an expo or a convention.
Right.
So I'm just going to have to buy the set.
Yeah, and I
And I'm
mean it is
sure,
it is a 2-in-1, and I think that's some people's plans is, hey, I'm going to buy both, and then I'll
yeah.
sell off the second set of figures.
And I'm sure there will be deals on this. I'm sure Amazon will have this for like 30% off from time to time. I'm sure Walmart's going to have, they may
If they
buy too
carry
much
it.
of it.
Yeah,
If
who
it doesn't
knows?
sell well, yeah, oh, right. If they carry it, because there's that weird Walmart thing.
Yep.
But I love the pink version. I really do.
Yeah, and what color is this? Are we going to talk about
The
color
f-
here?
the light flesh.
The light flesh leaves
That's what
on
I
there.
thought. Yeah.
Little interesting. I hadn't seen that color. I think a lot of times we mock the flesh color when it's used in a mock. We mock the
Okay.
mock color.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
mock it when
Sure.
it's used
Yeah.
in an
Yeah.
official set, like when it
Sure.
was in the Boutique Hotel. I think a lot of people were really like, "Ew, that flesh color's kind of gnarly on there." Looks really nice here with the leaves, though.
And now you can make your like Adam and Eve sculpture, or your like yeah,
The little
yeah.
leaves
Just put the
covering
leaves in front of their
covering
private
the
stuff.
naughty bits. Yeah, I
Yeah.
gotcha.
So everybody who
Um,
likes to build people can just calm down because now they have flesh colored leaves.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
I'm
then here we go. We've got some sort of mechanism, I think, to make one version of the tree move
talk.
its mouth.
Yeah,
So there we go.
yeah.
So
Apparently that
that's what
thing's
we've
talks.
got at Lego for Zelda. Anything else you wanna say about this? I know you're a big fan of it.
Yeah, I mean, so going back to like the price per parts ratio, price per piece, price per parts, whatever the hell it is. Um, so people were comparing it to the Bowser set because it has about the same amount of pieces. Um, Bowser wasn't an entry set, and Bowser has no minifigures. And Bowser's very yellow. This is very dark tan and olive green. And if you're on Pick a Brick, you know they charge more for the non-standard colors, even though it doesn't cost them anymore to make those
hmm
parts. It's just a
This,
demand thing.
this is what we think of yellow, right?
Boo yellow. Yes, we always boo
Blue,
yellow.
yellow,
So Pink Wheel wants to have the dark tan and olive green parts. Ah, see?
lots
Yep.
of olive green.
People pay more for that than a giant yellow Bowser. That was my, so I bought Bowser because one of the vendors at one of the shows had it like at MSRP, and I was like, well, I do want this because I think there are a lot of cool parts in it. But when I parted it
Bowser's cool.
out,
He is cool.
there's a lot of yellow I'm just not going to use. Um, does
Yeah,
seem to have a lot of large parts. It's also a 2-in-1.
it's true.
So like the weird little clubhouse thing is counted in those parts. I don't know what that clubhouse actually is.
This one
It
here.
was, and that's what's funny is it was Sean's favorite part. He's like, I need that clubhouse, man. I'm like, there's a giant Duplo tree for us to love and hug. It is a nice tree build, Stud.
It is. I think it is
Admits
too.
the character is popular, but people wanted dungeons. Are there dungeons in Zelda?
There are.
Well, they'll
Um,
get them.
yeah,
You
they'll
just have
get
to
there.
buy the tree first so that Lego knows that you want it.
They got to get somewhere. They got to
Who's
start
booing
somewhere.
me?
That was that was that was just up because you brought the comment back up. Well, I still had that up there. The other thing that we talked about a little, well, of course, is the ugly slimy tongue piece, as we kind of call it, the mini ugly slimy tongue. That being the leaves here
Yeah,
on the tree,
it
kind of
doesn't.
used to a better effect, I think, than when there's just one of them, which we've seen a
Yeah.
lot.
I still don't like it, but it doesn't look awful when there's that many of them used together. I wonder what this would look like
Yeah,
if they use like the classic like Lego tree leaf piece
I think that would
and
be
like a
pretty
lot of
easy
them.
to mock or mod, right?
Yeah, sure, but
To do that.
I'm not gonna mod an official set. I don't do that sort of. Carrie Kraus,
Not
hey,
a
how
three
are
hundred
you?
dollar, not a $300 set at least.
She paused her
So
BOTW. Someone help me out. Blowing out the wind game to watch this.
Breath
Breath of
of
the
the
Wild
Wild.
to watch this. Oh well, thank
She
you.
wants to know about the set, and there you go.
That leaf piece gives me Duplo vibes. That
Yeah.
Leaf piece gives me some like go to a doctor and have your tongue checked out piece because yeah, I can't stand that piece. It's like they mashed up one mold. They were like, like
Yep.
make it a piece. It looks like a bunch of this leaf piece together. Stud City says the normies were saying it cost more than a Switch console. Welcome to like,
Yeah, that's true. Sorry,
yeah, a lot of
sorry,
things do.
normies. You got plenty of these in there too. One of our favorite new pieces, the fern piece.
Yeah,
Got a couple of them all pressed together here. So you're
yeah.
gonna get some fern pieces as well.
Yeah, Jolen's right here. We have mashed up the term for the slimy tongue piece in this piece. This is
Yeah,
more
this is like the little slimy tongue piece versus
or
the
like
big slimy tongue piece.
or like the kind of like the coated tongue or like the hairy
Yeah,
tongue
the
piece.
hairy
Like
tongue
it's
piece,
yeah, there's really a big ugly leaf piece. I kind of like that. The
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 bull
bulb,
piece.
the bulb. Yep, I
Yeah.
like. If Joellen had been here, I have a feeling that she wasn't lurking while you were showing off your mock because I think she would have mentioned your creepy dollhouse.
Yeah, well, the creepy dollhouse is just gonna have to. She'll have to wait and see it at Brickworld. It'll be one of I don't even know how many. One of probably 10 or 11 rooms of the dollhouse. I don't know. It'll be
Yeah,
pretty spectacular.
we'll see. Will it have? Will that dollhouse have a roof?
Will it?
I don't know.
Don't know.
So suddenly Stud likes Duplo vibes. I don't get. Man, it's like trying to figure out if Ben likes Castle or not.
It's hard to say.
You don't even know. Slimy tongue
I
one
don't either.
actually
No,
looks
you're
like a
right.
tongue. I do think I have one drawer just for the slimy tongue piece. Let's take some of those out because I just feel like being grossed out. You know, Ben. You know what mode I'm in tonight? I'm in
I
having.
don't. I
I'm in
don't
like.
know. I think you're feeling frisky, is what you are.
It's like the night I flew, or the day I flew back from Italy and came back and did the live stream after being on a plane for 9 hours or whatever, and like crossing
Yeah.
time zones, and because I feel like I need to make
There
another
we go.
TikTok Mark's being a D because I feel like I kind of am, but I'm
You're
okay with
gonna
it.
you're gonna be a D to me today. That would be nice. Okay, so here we go. There's the slimy tongue piece
Yo,
right there,
here.
the blue one.
Yep, got a drawer of them.
So here we go. In the States, you can't get your hands on this until August 1st. I don't know if it's out in the rest of the world for the June releases. But this set, we took a look at a few weeks ago. It's got what we call the slimy tongue piece back here, one of Mark's favorite pieces.
I hate it.
And this piece we kind of noticed at the same time as the pressed leaf piece, or the big ugly leaf piece, as Mark's calling it. So I sort of called one the big slimy tongue and the other the little slimy tongue. Here we got
Joellen,
those walrus teeth
Ew.
over there.
Joellen called it that. That wasn't me. Don't give me credit for that. The bulb.
Yeah, here we go. This
You
is what
know.
we came here for, everyone. There we go.
Where's my walrus?
Yeah, so there we have it. The slimy tongue piece also becoming a slimy tooth piece.
Tusk.
Yeah, little tusk
Slimy
action.
tusks. Yeah.
Little tusk action.
And
Well,
why
I
wouldn't
will
we?
I will note that this isn't the only bit of Lego news we have. Of course, everyone loves Zelda.
She was lurking, apparently.
But there's another something I wanted to talk about, which
I have
is
no idea what this is. What else besides Zelda happened this week? I
well,
don't think anything. I think
this
you're wrong.
happened.
Liar. Oh, it did. Yeah, I was wondering what you thought about this, and then I got distracted with something else and didn't text it to you.
Yeah, so there are two things. So Lego is making a prize machine set where you're going to be able to pull out some prizes. And as part of that, they wanted to have votes on two things. One is a shield crest for Castle, and the second is a new and interesting or unique color of classic Spaceman. So, you know me, sometimes people say I love Castle, sometimes people say I hate Castle, sometimes people say I love classic space, other times people say no, everyone just says I love classic space.
Meh.
So here we have
No one cares anymore.
our multiple Spaceman choices. We've got the teal guy here, the lime green guy, the dark purple guy. Is this guy gold?
Yep.
And then a light baby blue guy here.
Yes, Kraken. Carrie Krause. That is the only choice. Kraken only.
Yeah, so we'll pull that back up here in a second. So here I don't really have an opinion. Just vote on one.
You don't?
No. My only opinion is don't make the gold one.
Yeah, I agree with that. My opinion is turquoise magenta.
Well, Well, there are 2 shades of blue. I
Turquoise.
kind of want to go. I kind of want to go with this one actually.
I
The
like that
purpley
one
guy.
too. Yeah, I would go. I would go for that. If we had to vote the same, all right,
Teal.
teal.
Okay.
Is that on the one on the left or the right,
I think it's this one.
Ralph? Yeah, I
This one
think so
here.
too. That's called turquoise.
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 The
And then
tealy
medium
turquoisey guy.
light is medium azure, dark azure. But I think this is medium
I
azure.
think that's medium azure.
Teal kills medium
Eh,
azure.
could be. Who
Kills it.
knows? But let's go
Lime.
back to the shields.
Lime looks kind of gross.
Yeah.
It looks like he's in some sort of latex suit.
So here's what I think of this.
Right, good. Yep.
There's one on here that I don't want them to do. I would be fine with the other 3. The
Which-
one I don't want them to do is the
The
bull.
bull? Yeah, I thought so. Okay. I don't know why I thought that, but I did think that.
Yeah, this
Yeah, why?
raven one is
You've used.
found currently in a CMF.
Yep.
And it's a pretty cool shield, a pretty cool faction.
Yeah.
They actually call it a crow in the online vote. I like the griffin, and I like the kraken. I
griffin.
think they're both really
Yes.
cool too.
Totally. Which one did you vote for?
I haven't voted yet. I was reserving my vote to hear what the tainted thing, in case anyone wanted to, try to
We have
steer my vote here.
we have 2 votes for Kraken. I agree with the Kraken. I do like the Griffin.
Yeah.
Stud says I hope they make the new shield art instead of revamped old shield art. Yeah, I agreed 100%. I don't even know why there's old shields as an option. And if it's going to be a prize machine, there's going to be a bunch of stuff in it. Just put them all in.
It's true. Maybe they'll do that. I'm very interested. If I could pick any of these, the one that's definitely the most castle-y that we don't have is the Griffin. I am intrigued by the Kraken though. It is pretty interesting looking, and there's definitely some interesting fantasy stuff we could do with that.
Sneaky way to get people to buy the prize machine is to put rare parts in it.
So here's the voting space here. So it is dark azure, warm gold blue,
We got
reddish
Crystal.
violet,
Crystal wants the Griffin.
bright yellowish green. So it's not. Is that the color for lime? Who knows?
No,
And
it's
then
not.
Bright bluish
wait.
green.
Spring yellowish green is the
These are
weird
the
one.
Lego colors. So who
Yeah,
knows?
that's turquoise. So
So as
spring
you see,
yellowish.
I haven't voted yet.
Spring yellowish green is the really vibrant yellow one. I forget their actual name for lime.
Yeah.
Reddish violet, magenta, love. Warm gold, dye.
Dark azure.
That's dark
Krakens.
azure. I'd be okay with dark azure, not medium azure though.
Griffins. Bulls. See, they don't even have a
Bulls.
note, just bulls. And then
Bulls.
crows. I think I'm going to lean towards Griffin personally, but I
Papa-
would be fine if Kraken won too.
Papa Rex has the wrong opinion.
So.
That's okay. Opinions can't be right all the time.
It's
Stud
all
City
right, Papa
says
Rex.
wanted that super bright highlighter yellow. Oh God.
Oh.
Oh, I accidentally bought those. We talked
Oh.
about this. Oh, I not spacemen in that color. I accidentally bought a bunch of tile. Hey, Fan Milwaukee is here. It's a Griffin or Cthulhu. Yeah, I was gonna say that
give
as
it a
well.
Cthulhu
It's like
action.
the Cthulhu Kraken. Yeah, agree with that as well. Yeah, I've talked about this on here before, but I tried to buy some cool yellow tiles to make Fabuland buildings, and I accidentally got that neon yellow. God, I hate
The
it so
highlighter
much.
yellow.
It hurts my retinas.
Yeah. Well, it's not this is also not the only set news. We also had this very exciting bit of set news. Who wants one of these?
No
this
way.
is the like Mark V Iron Man or something.
He's also peeing. No, I'm kidding.
Far superior to the Mark IV Iron Man. I don't know.
Apparently, I
But
don't
then
know
they
either.
also announced this Minecraft crafting table,
Oh, they did. Okay.
which is kind of interesting and kind of cute. It's kind of like the Mario Cube, but
yeah.
as a
Sure.
big old
Fair enough.
Minecraft cube. And there you can see the little bits all come out, and they're kind of little habitats. I don't know how many
Yeah.
times I'm going to say Lil here, but a bunch.
Lil. There's Lil this, Lil
Um,
that.
It has a lifestyle shot. It deserved one.
In someone's refrigerator?
Yeah, put on a wire rack. I'm pretty sure I have this wire rack upstairs in my closet.
Alpha. It's from Alpha.
Quite honestly, this particular shot makes it look very small. And you can count how big it is. It's not very big. But it makes it look even tinier here with this lifestyle shot.
Yeah.
So
it's bigger than a habitat though.
So I don't know. Definitely it is.
I know people who hate habitats.
Yeah.
Pink Wheels likes it. Should be $50 to $60 tops. What do we have a price on it?
I think we do, but
Wire
let me look.
Costco. I
Let me
mean, that's
let
some.
me let me investigate that for
Chicagoans
us.
helped me out. That I initially got my Alpha shelves from Handy Andy.
It does have a price. It's actually not as terrible as I thought it would be.
Is it 50 to 60? That's what Pink
It is
Wheels wants.
90.
90. That's actually not bad.
90.
So
It's not bad.
when I go into the Blockoverse to look for stuff for that segment, they're all the Blockoverse is like tackling Minecraft a lot.
Mm,
In case you didn't
okay.
hear it the first time, it was a lot.
A lot.
I don't know, my voice
I
does
like
that,
it
but
a lot.
it did.
I do like the little mini figure guys that they put on here. And we got some lifestyle shots.
Oh, yay. Look, you can be an adult nerd and like this. Can you please click on that? Because it looks from here like that thing is just floating. Ah,
He's got his hand under there, like at the very back corner. And what
yeah.
is this down here?
Wooden snake statue.
Are you sure it's not like
Nope.
a wooden Gumby, like invading his
Cobra.
house or something?
Cobra?
I don't know what that is. But there it
Or
is. You can
an
put it on
Eastern
the
hog
shelf.
head snout steak, Eastern hog snout steak that fakes like it has a hood. Just to bring it all back to, yeah, I don't know. For some reason,
Last
at
week
least from
when we
here,
spent like an hour talking about snakes and spiders.
I told people about jumping spiders the next night at the gym. Um,
Question. Pause. Time out.
yeah.
Are
Pause.
these
Rawr, rawr.
VCR videotapes over here?
I can't. All right, I have to move this to somewhere where my old man eyes can see. Because that last one looked photoshopped to me, I wanted to see that as well. I guess I could just look up the product itself.
Yeah, I can zoom in. Oh, there we
They
go.
are.
VCR tapes.
Well, there's freaking film to the right. There's like an old. Yeah.
Some sort of hipster, super hipster doofus land here. Where we've got
Super-
VCR.
Super hipster doofus land. That would be such a fun theme park.
Well, here, okay. So, people tell you that records sound better than digital, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There is zero reason to have a
No.
VCR tape. The
No.
quality's worse. The
You're
seeking's worse.
I
The audio's
agree.
worse. Everything's worse.
I agree, but there's a huge secondary market for VHS tapes.
Why?
I don't know. We've talked about that on here before. I was looking up. I found an article on like BuzzFeed or something that was all telling me what the Disney VHS that are sitting in my mom's crawl space are worth, and I think Aladdin was somewhere like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Hundreds of thousands of dollars for a VHS copy. All
Yeah.
hipsters buy their shelves at Costco. Yeah, of course. That's the wire stuff, actually.
They all have plaid.
or the
They all
stainless
have
steel stuff.
beards, and they all have Costco shelving and VHS tapes.
And they all make IEDs with their sons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we have it. And this is like an old CRT TV over here. So you can watch your crappy vintage VCR on your crappy vintage CRT tube TV.
It's like a 3D printed recreation.
Yeah.
A recreation of a.
And I guess you can put on different stickers to stick on there.
Hooray!
Congrats. But there you have it.
There's pigs.
The crafting bench. So that's our Lego news for this week.
Wow, we did our first two segments in 1 hour.
Well, we could talk some more about the tree if people really want to, but
Yeah, I
don't
was
know.
surprised we got off that so quick. But
Well, is there anything else you want to say about it? You said you like it. You said it, your full price Jones. You said your day one. You said you think the price isn't too bad.
neither one of us knows Zelda enough, I think, to get into like the significance of the characters that they included. Get into which tree is from which version.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, maybe that is it. And that wasn't that bad of a line. I know. God, I think I owned that CD of the soundtrack or borrowed it from a friend and listened to it every day for whatever reason. Speaking of Gumby, what was Goo the blue character? What were any of them? What was Gumby? Prickle was a dinosaur. What's the horse's? Pokey was a horse.
Yep, Pokey. Yeah. Carrie wants us to get back to the Zelda set.
All right,
If
Carrie,
there's
let's
anything
go.
else we've missed on this bad boy.
Which version do you like better, Ben?
I think
Opinion?
this version is more complete looking
Yeah,
than
agreed.
the other. I would say that the other one, which
They're
is
two solid builds, says Carrie.
very nice as well. I think like the ground level on this one is not nearly as exciting.
Yeah, it's a little odd that it's so underwhelming. Brick Orphanage wants to know
Yeah.
if we saw what the Fell Beast promo is selling for. I'm curious, sir. Please tell us. Um,
It's not even that nice a model, quite honestly.
right? Is
But
there some rare figure in it?
I mean, there's the Witchy King guy on there. I don't know.
I'm looking forward to seeing the Ocarina in other colors show up as accessories for other lines because I
Yeah.
think that is a very cool mold. Love watching Gumby as a kid. I did not. It kind of like I think she looks like a ghost. I don't know. She's like a water droplet. She's a whale. I don't know.
150.
150
Wow. Harsh.
for the Fell Beast.
Harsh.
Everyone hates it. Yeah, I do think the the argument over the price per parts ratio. Hey, I said it. On this is it surprised me. There's been a lot worse price to parts ratio on things. Maybe not a lot worse. But
Yeah.
this is a cool set with unique elements in it and unique colors. Well, maybe not the most unique, but like, and then unique figures for sure.
Right.
And I think people have spent more on less quality sets.
Yeah. I mean that could be part of it. Is that Ocarina came out before 2000 even, so it is going to
So
have more of a sprightly look, I guess, which is
this
fair.
one's Ocarina of Time,
Yeah.
and the other
You can
one
tell because
is
he's holding the Ocarina in the
what's
picture.
the other one from Breath of the
Breath of the
Wild?
Wild. Yep.
Aha. Okay.
Yep.
And perhaps Nintendo wanted it that way. I mean, because here's what I'm sitting here doing. All right, here's a set for Nintendo that's highly detailed and beautiful. And let's look at the shit we get for. Oh, sorry, everybody. For Animal Crossing,
Ooh.
it just
Ooh.
feels like they're never.
Flamethrower here.
Yeah, ouch. It feels like they're never going to hit that level for Animal Crossing. I'd
Well,
like them to. There aren't characters like this in Animal Crossing in the first place.
yeah, but I've got a counter to you,
Mm.
which is this.
I'm still confused as if does he actually move or sing?
They didn't give us one of those for Zelda, as far as I know. But there you go.
Or
We
however
don't
you
have
play
a-
Ocarina.
Yeah, we don't have them playing the ocarina or the tree talking at us. Instead, they're just like, here are some pictures of the set. Do what you want with it.
Stud seems to think that the GWP price for the Fell Beast will drop after a couple weeks. Animal Crossing sets are just sad. They make me sad. The figures make me happy. The colors make me happy. The design, the like specific elements, the printed elements make me happy.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to build my Animal Crossing island out of Lego. I want to build Fabuland inspiration in Animal Crossing, and then make everything Fabuland. It's always been like that with
just the thing spinning. Yeah, here we go.
Spin it around. But like you said, the leaked images were both correct, and that was my big thing. I'm like, how can this be right? There's two different models.
Yeah.
Like, how is anyone falling for these leaked images? No, because they're real.
They were similar enough that I was like, was someone trying to recreate a picture they saw? But they were distinct.
Yeah.
And that's part of this too, is that I think for me, the Breath of the Wild one, with the kind of the roots being the way they are, and the mustachy root, and the leaves, I like this version better if I was going to pick the two from the two.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And the Ben Hauger style base.
It's true. It does have a bit of a base with an interesting shape to it as well. I think from a distance, though, this one, like the thumbnail picture, definitely looks more like a tree with a face. But I think when I see the two of them up close, this is the one I prefer. So
Yeah,
I don't know. Am I going to pick it up when it comes out?
I think Carrie's right. They're both solid builds. I'm gonna pick it up. I mean, this is one of the
There's
best
a
parts
chance.
packs I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
You better.
So there we go. I better.
I'm mad at you.
I
I'm
better
mad
buy
at you
this
if you
set.
don't. Yeah, you
better
better.
get
I
it.
don't know. I don't know where that came from. I even did like a little bit of a. Yeah, watch out.
You better.
If you don't buy it,
You better.
you better
Well,
go
we
knock
could-
on that Walmart glass.
Yeah, we could. It's a mini close call right now. Which one are you building for display? I think both you and I both say this one. Anybody voting for the old Ocarina of Time version?
Anybody?
Anybody?
Well, I Carrie Cross. That was the first thing she said.
She did say yes. I think that one's gorge. And like I
Did you hear
said, I
that?
mean,
Sorry.
I think with a little extra stuff in
within.
the, I think with the base was a little more filled out, this one would have a shot.
Yeah.
But I really
Agreed.
think that the Breath of the Wild one is going to take it for me on this. The Breath of the Wild one also has the Master Sword and Master Shield, which look really cool. So
Yeah,
you can't
that
get
is
around
important.
that. You
All
can't
right.
get past that.
I am going to take a quick break because the puppy is staring at me and has been for a while.
Yeah.
It's dinner time and Matt is not home. So I, for the
Okay, you
first
go.
time, no, I think I've done this before. I think I've taken a break to feed her before, or at least I've taken a bathroom break and she's been like, "Hi,"
You
and I've been
did
like,
take
"Oh, I'll
a
feed the dog
break
too."
to handle the dogs last week, and we accidentally slipped into the Blockleverse without you.
I was so upset.
So we'll stay out of the Blockleverse this time.
I'd say this time, just for like a smooth transition, let's thank our members again.
In a world of steel, a giant stands, a mech with heavy man's commands, each step a quake of thunderous might, eyes aglow in the endless night. A taint beneath, dark and vast, power fierce, shadows cast, a mighty taint beneath its core, a warrior spirit, ancient lore. Welcome, tainted, a lace-up tunic or medieval hoodie. Welcome, tainted, let's talk about color, or should we? Welcome, tainted, thinking outside the blocks. Welcome, tainted, thanks for joining us, you rock.
All right. We're going to have to fix our intro because we have to add another name to our member list. Between the two, if we were saying which one do we think Lego has more faith in, well, they had to pick one to be on the front of the box. And the one that they went with seems to be the Breath of the Wild. So I guess we'll give a little bit of credit there. The back of the box contains the whole, this is a 2-in-1 type idea. And it shows the other model and kind of gives you the sort of the highlights of the two on each side. This will give you the size comparison here. I'm guessing that the Ocarina one is a little taller, it looks like. But it's a little bit hard to judge in this picture. If the two of them are to scale down here, then it looks like it is maybe a touch taller. But two nice ones as well. I think the other question for a lot of people is, are you going to buy two versions? Is it worth doing both? Of course, you'll have the instructions. You can get them digitally as well, and you'll have the figures to do both. So you could try to brick link a second copy for the parts, or you could buy two sets and sell the minis, or you could just be satisfied that you have one, and 3 months down the road you can flip it up and build the other one. So I don't know what people are going to do with that. I don't know if Lego is counting on a lot of repeat buyers in that regard, but it's certainly something that could happen. Let's see. Stud City says June 1st Star Wars sets haven't really hit Walmart and Target yet, which is strange. Only a few are online. I guess they arrived midweek. How many of the Star Wars sets had June 1 releases tied to them? It's kind of hard right now because there's sort of a mix of things that are August 1st versus June 1st. And because of that, it's difficult to keep track right now in the US of which sets are coming out when. We talked about that a little bit a couple weeks ago about whether or not we're a fan of sort of this global release schedule where they're not all in sync depending on what region you're in. Used to be a lot easier to get away with that. Like when we were children and you had to order everything from the catalog and there really wasn't an online, you'd have to really be plugged in to know that there's a region where they're not selling a particular set. But we don't really have that anymore. So, it's hard right now for me to know what came out June 1st. The only thing I know for sure came
Same.
out June 1st was the Lord of the Rings set, but that's that's it. Everything else, I'm kind of like, plus it's Brickworld season anyway. I probably won't buy anything till August as it is.
So I talked to a friend of mine who works for the Lego store, and they said that yesterday, in the first 2 hours they were open, they made $74,000 in sales. And they
Oof.
were dripping in sweat checking people out.
And so what were people buying? Was it all the Lord of the Rings set, or are they getting some other stuff too?
I didn't ask.
Okay.
I was like, oh,
Well, it seemed like March was the big release round this time for us at least, but
looks like they're doing it every other month.
it sure seems like it. And they always seem to release something on the first regardless. Maybe it's, only one or two sets, but they always seem to sneak in something.
Yeah. As long as they're solvent as a company and they keep creating stuff for us, I'm fine with whatever they want to, however it works,
Yeah.
whatever schedule they go with. But I mean, I definitely do agree. Like, we talked about that last week, where it's like, I would sit there in Toys R Us and shake the the flip top boxes, the cellophane fronts, to see if there was a next year's catalog in
Yeah.
like December, to see if, like, oh, did they accidentally ship some in that have the January catalog in it, because they release new sets once a year until I was like maybe 12 when the Pirates came out, and they released those in August, and I was like, why are they making us wait until August when it should be in January?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently the Mall of America stores wrap 360 around the outside. Almost everybody getting the Lord of the Rings set. And that was the line before opening. I did not go to the Mall of America. I am close enough that I could have, but I was busy building for Brickworld. Maybe you guys have heard about this thing, but apparently there's a show starting in 10 days, if you can believe it, where I'm going to be bringing, more than the 3 tables worth of mocks that I requested. I also
Yeah.
have a couple mock cards that I need to get as well. So we'll talk
You have to
about
be
that later.
gentle about those. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Phoebe likes you, so I think it'll be okay.
I only need 2 anyway, so it's not that bad. And one of them
Oh
is
yeah.
for my little 8-year-old daughter, so I can
It's
bring
not
her
the
over with the
amount.
dough eyes, please.
It's not the amount of extra requests that we get for stuff like that. It's the frequency of the
Yeah.
request, where it's like bam, bam, bam. It's like a death by a thousand cuts.
Yeah.
So we try to build them up all for the end of the night, so we can print them at the end of the night. And by the end of the night, we're exhausted. And so those last couple of people who ask us at like 9 p.m. when we're trying to just get everything done so we can go upstairs and go to sleep, those are when we're like, yeah, I can make you a mock card. We had some weird mock cards come in today, and apologies if this person is watching or part of the tainted. That the person just seemed to fill in like um, random things. I don't know if it was because they thought they were required or they want to be considered for awards, but they weren't sure what to call their creation. So like we had one of them was like something 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 mock card, and then the other one was something like the other the other creation I made after the mock card deadline, and we were like, are these? And they like broke the system that we were exporting them through. I'm like, we have to put a character limit in for this stuff so that doesn't happen. But it was like they were having a good old time. Maybe it was late when they were submitting their mock card requests, and
Maybe.
they were a little punchy. I understand how the punchy thing feels because I'm punchy as hell right now.
I'm not even sure if I put one in now if it would get printed. Probably not.
So the
But there
Sears
we are.
catalog was good Sears catalog was good, but it was a little bit too thick. It was easier for me to read the JCPenney catalog, which had about the same amount of stuff in it. Sears catalog definitely had cooler lifestyle shots with kids playing with the actual sets. Um, JCPenney was the one I would give to my grandma, and she'd miss like half the things that I highlighted. I'm like, but I use the same highlighter. Can't you see yellow? Still building and bought Pick a Brick in Las Vegas. Yeah, I was wondering about this. It seemed like hosting a small D&D room. Yay, not sure the demand, but it's full. The demand is 100% then, at least. Um, Rob, Rob Claxton wants the Griffin and the Kraken.
How far back are you?
Perhaps. I
How
don't
far
know. I
back
was
are you,
wondering the
Rob?
same thing. Right. So I thought my internet connections have been bad lately. Um, the what were we talking about? Host a small D&D room. Still build. Oh, so last week there seemed to be a lot more Brickworld building panic than we're having this week. Maybe because the people who were the most vocal about panicking about how much they had left to do are not even here this week because they can't afford to spend
Because
time
they're
watching.
they're
Although
struggling.
Moto was one of them. Moto was the first one in the house tonight. Actually, VMAC Attack was the first one in the house tonight. But Moto was here like one of the first three. And I know he said he's never been this far behind with. Maybe he's usually done a month early.
Well, he's saying he's done now, so he must have whatever he was
It's
building. He must
fantastic.
have just pulled right through it. I still have a couple things on the to-do list, but my to-do list went from unmanageable to I can see daylight. There's still too many things on there than I would actually like.
Oh, of course. And that's why I just cut my entire list. I'm like, Ben needs the space anyway.
It's
Maybe a
true.
bigger room.
True.
Oh, for I was like a bigger room there
For
for
D&D.
D&D. Yes.
Why not? Bigger room in general,
Oh,
perhaps.
look who's here. Speak of the devil. Who was I talking about at the beginning of the stream? Allie is here. They are panicking, but getting lots done. And Kevin, her husband, the other layout manager, is sick now too.
Oof.
Yeah. Oh my God, they've been working so hard. So if you guys aren't aware, Allison Lauer is one of the layout managers, the one who, part of the team that emailed you this week and asked you if you have extra space, if you could please give it up, so we can get everybody in. Hardest workers in the building, Kevin and Allie. They are logistics. They are the logistic managers. They used to be the logistics coordinators, and they work for weeks before the show, and they are on the entire time they're there, helping people load in, guiding people to their spaces. Someone got in their face last year, and I almost murdered that person. They stopped me from murdering that person because they're amazing people, and they're no longer volunteers.
That's a good system. If you do all the good work and you no longer are volunteer eligible because you've proven your worth, then they should become staff, and that means that if you're mean to them, Mark will be even nastier to you. That's how
I
that
was,
system works.
I was so mad. It happened right before opening ceremonies, like 5 minutes before opening ceremonies, and I was like, I have to go be positive and happy. Anyway, I don't want to. Let's not get into it.
I recall that you were very succinct with your criticism, but you certainly let everybody know that if they are mean to your staff, then you can kindly get lost.
Oh,
Let's just say
Allie, by
that.
the way, if you're still watching, I could text this to you, but I know you're looking for display space, and I do have a name from last year who packed up on Saturday night and wasn't there on Sunday, so we could definitely pull if they have display space, and we can pull that person's display space.
Wow, harsh, but fair.
Yeah, well, we have you agree that you'll be set up on Saturday and Sunday, both days. Because if you only want to come for one day and somebody else wants to come for 2 days, and also if the public is paying to see a full show on Saturday, they should see the public who comes on Saturday and pays the same amount as the people who come on Sunday should see the same amount. That's why we ask you to agree, be there from the time we open till the time we close, both days, because that's just fair to everybody. And it's the way to run a good brand. I am. I should calm down. I thought I turned my notifications off.
Yeah, that's always been a part of Brickworld, is that if you come first day, first person through the door, you should have the same experience as if you're the last person in on Sunday.
Yep.
Sometimes there's some shift in terms of maybe some silliness that happens or some pimping of displays. But you're definitely not taking home an entire mock a day early.
Yeah.
So,
Or 2 tables worth.
yeah. Well, that's not good. Okay, we are going to do something that we haven't done before here.
This is why I love Allie. She's like, no, Kevin told you not to kill him. She's like, I wanted you to. Like what Team B says, until what time can the display stay up? Okay, help me out.
Is it
Until what
is it
time
5?
can the display stay
It
up?
stays up until the show closes. End of
Oh,
discussion.
so we have the Dockmaster till like 11 p.m. Everyone's typically out by like 9 or 10 p.m. But that's interesting. That's I haven't had that question before. Like, well, how long can I leave it in the hall? Well, I did. No, actually, that's a lie. I had that question last year because New Hishima was like, how long do we have?
How long till we have to pack this bad boy up?
Yeah, we have the Dockmaster paid until 11 p.m. If you don't need the dock, you can take it out of there at any time. We do have a table. We do have to rent the tables from somebody, and we have a team there packing up the tables. So if like you have a mock on a table, I wouldn't leave it there till 3 in the morning because it will get moved for us to pack up the tables.
Yeah.
God, there's so much work. Oh God, you're like, yay, the show's over. Now I can relax. And it's like, no, you have to load up and pack out.
And I will say the loading up usually takes significantly less time than the setting up. So there's that.
We do have, thank you,
There
Hawk.
you go.
That's what we have on the schedule is 4 to 9. I let the bean spill that we have the Dockmaster till 11. But if the Dockmaster can leave at 9, we get charged less for union Dockmaster hours. So it was where the tables would be taken for a certain time. No. Oh, so this company, they will not touch any table that has Lego on it. They won't touch any Lego. Actually, there was a new employee at the Milwaukee Expo this year that tried to move a table with mocks on it because they were packed up already. And the supervisors from the expo team, from our vendor, they're called Wisconsin Expo, were sprinting towards him to stop moving the table because they had the forklift going. He couldn't hear them screaming at him, and they were all over it. They're like, why doesn't he know this? I thought it was so obvious at this point. They were really embarrassed for him, and the poor guy was like, I'm so sorry. I'm just like, no,
Just
it's all
trying
good.
to do my job, man.
Nothing
Trying to
got
do my
broke.
job.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Well, let's do this or that.
Okay.
Close
Okay.
call.
What do you got this week?
Every
I
time
like these.
every time we've done this, we have done stuff that's not Lego related. This time we're going to go Lego heavy. You mentioned the first time that you ever saw a off-schedule release was Pirates.
Hmm.
And the flagship set of that first Pirates line was this bad boy.
Yeah.
The Black Seas
Barracuda.
Barracuda.
Yeah, duh.
Classic set.
Zelda. Oh, here we go.
Zelda. This is a great set, but I was a big fan of this one. The Skulls Ice Schooner, which came out a couple years later. This one I liked better because it was more filled out. It had the rowboat on the back. It had the sail in the rear, all this other stuff.
Yeah, I agree immediately. I don't think
However,
this is a close call.
These are popular. I'll tell you right now, I am sure
Yeah.
that the Black Seas Barracuda, which I never owned for anyone who wants to get me a birthday present, is probably more popular. They also had a remake of this come out in a different color box a few years later as like a super classic or several years later.
They were calling them Legends at the time, I think.
Legends, yep. And they also had the
No comment on that. He's actually cool because he lets us open several doors, and by law, by their union rules, they're only supposed to let us open one per Dockmaster, and he's like, whatever. There's 3 doors, open them up.
Yeah.
But he's weird. Anyway, sorry, Ben.
And they also had the Barracuda base set, which was that shipwrecked idea set that you could rebuild into a Skull's Ice or into the Black Seas Barracuda. So
I like that
close
one a lot.
call. Which one is the greater ship? The Black Seas Barracuda or the Skull's Eye Schooner.
Stud. I am 100% on Skull's Eye Schooner.
Yeah, the picture's not as good. I couldn't find a better picture.
I think, well, I would say what the
But-
Black Seas Barracuda has going for it, it has a better captain's cabin, it has more windows, it's more piratey looking. This just kind of had more pirate character. How can one be more piratey looking and one have more pirate character?
I don't
Those seem to
know.
be conflicting statements. However, I did like this one better as well. Flash the other one back up actually for a
Yeah,
second. Maybe
yeah.
this is all right. So we have 2 votes for Skull.
Except it's the same person, so I don't know.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it's
Oh, because he misspelled it the first time.
because he can't spell skull. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Ah!
this one's certainly, I would say, more iconic
The
of the
bow
two.
sprite. The bow sprite is also much cooler, I think, on this one.
Yeah, this one kind of looks like a crazy mermaid, whereas on the Skull's Eye, I think it's a skeleton up there. It kind of looks like a
And-
ghost pirate.
Well, I would say that on the Skull's Eye Schooner. I'm sorry, on the
On the Black Seas.
yes, Black Seas Barracuda.
Yep.
She drunk too, and so the other one, like, it's a white torso with a black head and a
and
black.
a sword
Yeah, a
and a
little
hat.
confusing.
Yeah, it's not
Um,
nearly as good.
I guess it is a close call. At first, I was gonna say Zelda. It's the Skull's Eye Schooner, but I think it might be the Black Seas Barracuda. Actually,
Ah, man, it's close.
you
and
like this one better though.
It's
It
not.
is close.
Well, this is the one that I
Closer than I
have
thought.
of the two. Let's see. Alternate
Yeah.
Ralph Nader says he's going Skull's Eye as well.
Okay, fair enough.
So we've got
I'm gonna
we've got
vote. I'm
several votes for it.
Black Seas Barracuda. I'm gonna
I-
give it. I'm gonna give it my love.
Yeah, hey, I'm gonna say
Because
it's more iconic for sure.
I remember thinking that about this when it came out, because my big thing during that time was more window pieces. The first time I went to Legoland, I was like, I wanted to go to Legoland to see the window techniques that they used.
Mhm.
And they don't use polycarb in the parks because it just burns up in the sun and turns like frosted right away. So everything they cut pieces of plexi. I worked for Legoland, so I know this, and I hate it. They cut pieces of plexi or they put in black brick just to be like the window's closed. New Harry Potter Durmstrang ship is super impressive as far as ships go. My
Yeah.
problem with the Durmstrang ship is it seems like it's 4 studs wide, at least for the
Yeah.
product shots that I've seen. It's a little narrow, but I
would-
I would say the best one was the Lego movie, the first Lego movie.
Oh,
pirate ship.
the sea cow or whatever it was.
The sea cow,
I think
yes.
that's what it's called. Yeah.
Since so many people, maybe it's because so many people are voting for the Skull's Eye Schooner, but I'm solidly Black Seas Barracuda now.
Well, hey,
These are
I
hard.
mean, close call.
Hard set names to say.
Yeah. Well, I would say that of anything that sparked my original love for Lego, it was definitely the pirate line. Which is weird
Ooh,
because I
both.
would say some of my sets that are on my never got missed out on it. White whale sets are pirate themed, and I
Yeah,
do
yeah.
have the Skull's Eye. I never got the Black Seas Barracuda. I actually ended up buying 2 of the Barracuda base set, thinking maybe I would build the Black Seas Barracuda sort of new version. I never did. It's still sitting in a box.
Brick Orphanage, hailing at
So I
us
don't
from
know.
Wisconsin, not Australia, from Wisconsin, is
I think he's
bringing
from
in
Minnesota,
the Imperial
actually.
flagship. Oh, well, he does Milwaukee though, right?
Yeah, sure. But
Yeah,
I do
it's
too.
SK, right? But yeah. Um, the so real quick, I do want to look at this. I know close calls should only be between 2, but like they did have some cool pirate ships.
They
Like, what
did.
was that one?
Here's something interesting. So he
Where
said
am I?
Imperial flagship. There are actually 2 Imperial flagships, both
Was one of
titled
them the like?
Imperial flagship.
Was one of them the big old UCS-ish one that they?
Yes.
That was
one was
called
titled.
Imperial flagship because I was going to ask you
Yes.
to bring that one up.
I will bring up both the Imperial flagships.
I'm glad you were at Milwaukee this year anyway, because I like seeing you there. I like your GBC modules, even though you didn't bring any this year. I like you either
Okay.
way.
So
basically.
there's one. Here's the other. Let me make sure they're the right size.
Yay! I'm just I'm taking a
Alright.
mental break. I'm literally just swaying back and forth and staring at my own face.
Okay, so Imperial flagship wise, we had this one.
Oh, that one was fun.
This ship
Yeah.
was it was kind of crazy about this is I
No
absolutely love this one
windows.
too. But yeah, it is tiny.
Mhm.
It also used hulls that were narrower than the Skull's Eye schooner or
Mhm.
the Black Seas
Mhm.
Barracuda. It's not realistic at all to have printing on your sails like this.
Mhm.
But I love this set nonetheless. If you go and look at the instructions, they're like 4
Mhm.
pages long because there's like, nothing to build on this thing. The other version was this UCS set, as you call it, which was this bad boy,
Yeah.
which was absolutely massive. But they were
Yeah.
both just called Imperial flagship.
Interesting.
One
This
of them
was
I
a
would
great
say is
ship.
definitely more of a flagship than the other.
100%.
So
I do like this one a lot. I never got it. But good window pieces, a good bow sprite. Like that's a clever ass bow sprite.
yeah, I don't know
I'm
about the
in this.
swordfish bow sprite on this one.
I'm into
But look at the
swearing
other one
tonight.
though. There's like nothing on this one.
It's so cute though.
I
What
know.
was the one that I bought after I graduated from college? Maybe while I was still in college. I don't know. We'll have to see what year it was.
They had some
There's one of these
stinkers
ships
too
I want to
though.
see. I know that's the ones I want to bring up.
Look up Redbeard Runner.
I think that's the one I'm
Redbeard
thinking of.
Runner.
Oh wait, I found the one I was thinking of. I found the crossbone clipper.
Yes.
Redbeard Runner. All right,
Yes.
hold on. Why am I just looking through the thing? Okay, hold on. Redbeard Runner. Okay, so this isn't. I I sold this on eBay for like I think I got $700 for it.
Woo!
Because
Bring
I
it up.
found someone had what are you on using this? A Brickset
I'm
six two
just
eight nine.
looking them up anywhere.
Because yeah, Bricklink is not the place to find big pictures.
No.
Brickset 6289. I found it. Someone had listed it on eBay, spelling Lego with 2 G's.
So it's inexpensive.
Yeah, because people didn't have it in their search windows or whatever. Wow, I really can't find good pictures of this. Anyway, I'll just bring it up like this. Whatever. Share screen. Piece of crap pipe. But the I kept the box from this because I used to store white windows in it for whatever reason. And I was like, well, let's just buy this because I got it
That's
for like
specific.
$70.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has the same problem with the Bowsprite. It's got a white torso
Yeah.
with a black head.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any historical accuracy in that. Maybe I'm scoffing at nothing. But then why on earth do I have women's underwear as an ad?
Hey, your kink's your
Don't
kink,
need
man.
it.
I got nothing to say.
Oh, definitely not. I don't even
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, better.
Okay, so here's my issues with this one. Lots of issues with it. But the big problem, the biggest problem with this is that they were really into action features. So they
Yes,
had
I
two
thought you were
action
gonna say
features
this.
on this that were stupid. One was that you could make the mast tip side to side, as you can see in the circle picture here. But the whole issue with that was that meant you couldn't bring the rigging all the way down to meet the ship. So
So it just
apparently
kind
you
of
had to jump to reach the rigging to climb up the masts on both sides, or at least
you
on
had
the
to
front.
leap. You had to leap, and you had to time it so that the boat, so the ship wasn't like,
I yeah,
riding waves,
you
and you didn't
jump
get
when it's
tossed
at
off
its
the
yeah, when it's at its crest.
crest.
Yep,
Yes,
and try to grab it.
at
And then
least
the
you
other
know.
thing, as you can see here, is apparently the skull in the back tips down and ejects you off the entire thing.
So
So
that was battle damage.
I guess
So if
I
it,
don't know.
yes, oh, definitely, because I think they had product shots of this as like another pirate ship or like the Imperial flagship or whatever other ship they had in they would shoot the cannon at it and it would knock the mast over, or it would knock the what's that called, the stern
Yeah, get
off, the
shot in your
captain's
stern
cabin.
and it exploded.
Yeah,
It
so
was
it
kind of
wasn't just like a look, it
yeah,
pops apart. It was like it was kind of a play feature of like this is what happens in the pirate ship battle.
I guess I don't know. The thing on the back too is it's a big skull on the back, which I think from like an idea of doing something different with a pirate ship is fine if they didn't also
Sure.
link the fact that the mast in the front isn't actually connected to the ship, and then they lost the sail in the front in order to accomplish this play feature with a tipping mast.
I'm gonna see if I can
Um,
actually find a really bad ship that I made back in my Eurobricks days.
yeah. Oh man, we could go down quite the rabbit hole with pirate ships on Eurobricks.
Oh, for
Um,
sure. Were you part of the Pirates Forum?
oh
What'd you
yes, oh yes.
moderate? Yeah.
Pirates
What's
Forum, mostly just
Oh
history.
Lord. Let's see.
Let's
See if I can
oh
find my
we
mocks.
are going down memory lane. Let's do it. I
Yeah,
wish I
we
could get
are.
into mock pages.
Me too. I actually never used that. I I used Brickshelf.
Oh
When's
yes,
the last time you heard
Brickshelf.
that term?
It's it's been a little while.
Same.
It's been a
Remember
little
when?
while.
Do you remember where Tainted? Where were you when Brickshelf shut down? And not born is a valid answer.
Yeah.
Like I think the community actually imploded that day, literally. So where would I have found this? Let's
Is there
see.
some way to see your oldest post
In
on Eurobricks?
there used to be, but I
Okay.
think we cut that because it took up too much memory. But
I
it'll tell you
totally understand.
you've been a member since such and such date. So if you made a post on your first day, which if you were a lurker, which I have a feeling you might have been, um, no offense, of course. Oh, where would I have put this? Um, then you can find it by going back to that date. But if you go to your profile, there should be like a history of your
Yeah, here we go.
posts. Oh, what's your first post?
So this is something I was working on digitally
Shut up.
while I was in law school. I didn't have access to the bricks. So here's me.
In what, like a Bricksmith or LDD?
And I think this
Or
was an LDD, no, LCAD.
LDraw.
LCAD,
LCAD.
way back in the day. So here I am designing like
Oh,
an
I found it.
Imperial harbor on LDD or on LCAD. And I had a couple different versions, it looks like. Some of them were pretty cool looking, actually. I'm not going to. Oh, here, see? Brick shelf links on how
Yeah.
old this bad boy is. But this
Brick-
actually ended up in actual brick. So let me pull this down and see if I can find it.
So Brickshelf was kind of like Lego Pinterest, like a full Pinterest, mock Pinterest, I should say. Ant Bandit is correct. It was the place to be. That was the place that was the rabbit hole back in the day. Like before Flickr, or before there was a Lego community on Flickr. Yeah, Brickshelf was badass, and it was just like a great place to get inspiration. It was a great. Do you remember the pub, Ben, where we had like the
Yeah. Yep.
it wasn't the Brothers Brick. We called it something else. We shouldn't talk about the pub in public.
Can't talk about the pub.
Yeah, Sister Sloppy.
That's what it was called.
Where we found bad Brickshelf posts and just kind of lampoon them. What is this ship? I cannot wait to bring this up. I have to figure out where the bigger parts are. Bigger pictures are.
Yeah, here, check this out. So here it is. Here I made it into
Oh,
brick
you
out of
did
brick.
it! You did it in real life. How many years later was that?
So November
It's
9th, 2006.
it's really not bad for an early mock. I cannot wait to show you
Yeah,
this mouse
18
right.
years
Where's
ago.
my
So
Photoshop?
check this out. Not only
There
is
it
it
is.
built based on the that harbor design, but you can also see that I have a ship here. And you'll notice that I
can
have
barely
these.
see that. Oh, it's my eyes, not your screen. Sorry.
Yeah,
Well,
you
it's
notice
kind of
that
a
I have the big sails on these.
little bit of both.
So the
Yeah.
sail, they only made the big version of this with the Imperial cross on it. So I actually had printed like a iron-on transfer and then painted it in different sizes to try to match the design there.
I just found something similar about my ship. I forgot I did. I can't
All
wait
right,
to show you this. Hold
I
on.
want to see this thing.
All right, give me 1 second to open up all the awful pictures. Wait till you see this. You're gonna be very surprised at my color choice alone.
Uh-oh.
Um, uh-huh. And let's see. Let me get one more up here just because there's something. The bad photography. Oh, look at this. Sorry, I'm impressing myself with the hilarity of this. And maybe people won't find this as funny. I'm just like looking back at some of the things that I've done and what I've learned since then. Like my early mock building, even when I was like getting awards at Brickworld and like people were impressed with my stuff, I look back at some of the stuff that I won awards for and I'm like, this wouldn't get looked at twice today, you know? Um Oh, I don't
Hey,
even know what that is. Okay, hold on. All right, here we
it's
go.
just part of the evolution of anyone's build style.
Oh yeah, but I think it's also like the evolution of what's it called? The parts and colors that
Are
Lego has.
available.
Oh, and they've been prolific about like just making new parts every 5 minutes. Every new release date has like a new element or like an old element in a new color. Here we go. All right, so I'll get back to this in a second. I just want you to soak this in, and this will be the answer for the end of the quiz here. The quiz, the end of this journey. All right, so who's the captain?
Good question. What is that piece? Is it
That's
Lego
the
official?
biggest question. No,
I didn't think so.
that is a third-party market,
Yeah, he looks like Abraham Lincoln's cousin. I don't know who he is.
and that is resin.
Okay.
And then, because I've worked with resin, I sculpted it further with a X-Acto knife.
Oh.
So what year was this? Hold on, I'll have to find that out next. Because I have the timestamp on the picture. So here it is.
All right. All
That's
right.
a that is a Bowsprite, friend.
All right. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay. The window. The windows are interesting.
What are the color of the windows?
Well, they're your favorite color, yellow, of course.
And no, what's my real favorite color? The color of the rest
Gold.
of the ship. Oh, red.
Yeah,
Red
red
is my
and blue.
first nemesis of colors. The blue I'm good with.
Yeah.
So this is rather like
Question. Did your
yes.
pirate ship with the lion head also have a tail coming out the back?
No, but this needs to be remade with a big ass tail. Brick Dad Builds is here. Thank goodness. We were wondering where you were.
I was.
Show up at any
Hey,
time.
Brick Dad
What?
builds.
What?
I'm pretty
What?
sure
What?
that's who you have captaining your ship.
Oh! Wait a minute.
I think I found him.
All
I
right.
think I
So
found him. There he
I,
is.
I had a premonition. I think this was like 20 years ago. Um, because Brick Dad Builds, in case you're wondering why we're calling this you, um, this was a third party market, a third party seller that made these, and they were resin. I ordered several of these because there were certain hairstyles I wanted on my minifigures because I was writing an online comic with Lego characters. This behind, I'm pointing it with my finger. This right here was Prince Egbert. He had a whole storyline. I still have the character that he turned into after the first season or like the first omnibus of the comic, where he turned into a completely different person. From his character journey. But I sculpted that hair further with an X-Acto knife, and it does look very much like your silhouette, sir. Anyway, back to the Bowsprite.
It
The
does.
colors, all this. What? Tell me one other thing that you notice in this picture that may be custom.
Well, the sails.
Yes, and
Um,
how did I make those?
they look like they are made out of. I'm going to guess
You got it.
duck
You,
cloth,
muslin. You almost said it.
muslin,
Muslin. Because you went.
muslin.
Oh, maybe you were just saying
Muslin I thought
muslin.
about. I thought burlap and muslin or duck cloth. I think not burlap because that's a
That cloth wouldn't be bad.
little grainier, but I think duck cloth and burlap are a little and muslin are a little closer.
Brick Dad Builds is very proud to be the captain of this ship. He's navigating this voyage, as he says. Reed actually does a really great workshop. I think it's a workshop, or he's done it in the past at Brickworld about making custom cloth capes. But I did look at what's holding. Look at these 2x2
Yeah,
round plates
it's kind of
holding
interesting.
the holding the muslin in place. I'm like, I just need it to. I don't know why I wanted this. I don't know why that was a thing that I needed for these sails to be this. But I mean, it's basically I traced the muslin with a seam ripper so I can find the edges and then cut it with fabric scissors because who doesn't have those lying around? Um, a couple of these are characters from the comic. I think I have pictures of all these characters somewhere and a basic outline of the story. Here it is from the back, and this
Okay.
the walk
Very,
around
yeah.
ports on the walk around ports on the back is hilarious. Sorry.
Yeah, you definitely had a lion theme going for sure.
Yes, and remember these pieces? Has anyone ever used this piece successfully?
I have, and when you come to Brickworld Chicago, you will see where I use them and how I use them successfully.
Is that the secret mock?
No, it's our
Oh,
part of it is it's part of our collab.
it's our secret collab. Okay, okay,
Hmm.
okay. All right, let's get through the rest of these real quick because nobody seems to really care too much about this.
Oh, we care
Another shot
about
of
them.
it. And then of course, I there's an interior in this ship. There are bunks, and I think on the other side there was a like a munitions. Uh, yeah,
You,
and
you got the whole thing.
one more. Yep, you can see the bunks a little bit better. And then yeah, back to this. So Prince Egbert back here, his entire thing was that he was like a pretentious, like he was the prince, and like he was going to be king. He was like first in line for the throne. He was like one of those awful. This was long before Game of Thrones, but he was like Joffrey-esque.
Yeah.
Except at the end of the first omnibus, he was supposed to get attacked by a dragon and like considered dead. But then in the second omnibus, he like survived and he was all scarred and he like lost limbs and he like became a good like protective person, kind of like an anti-hero, but then into a like a sort of someone who kind of brought the entire story back to where it needed to go and like ended up being like the crux of how everything got set back to normal in the end. We still do a lot of writing. Um, and yes, so just one more time on this. I wish I could remember where these were from. I bought a lot of pieces from this seller because I thought they were amazing. But when I look at this figure right now with Brick Dad Builds hair, um, I think like that's some Playmobil level shit happening. Like I don't know why
Yeah.
I was obsessed to the point I would resculpt them just so they all look different. And that was part of the thing is wanted there to be I wanted them to look like this, but I wanted them to have variation so that I could buy several and put them on characters and like not only main characters but like background characters too. It's very important.
Very important. Yeah.
So overall thoughts on this? Do you want to critique specifically the Bowsprite, which I do think was very close to the creator Lion
Yeah,
that came out at the time.
the mouse sprite's a little challenging.
It's pretty realistic. I think you could do this on a ship.
I'm pretty sure that the entire ship it'd be faster because it's so front heavy, I think, that when it was going downhill in the water, it
Kind
would
of a
just like speed it up. I don't know.
kind
Yeah,
of a submarine of sorts.
I really wish I had my brick shelf.
By the way, this is the
Space
last
still.
thing. The last thing I thought I would be talking about tonight would be this particular mock.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
look at the torches. Is this before the flame piece
that's
existed?
probably that's the classic. That's the classic. This is how you make a torch piece for sure.
I mean, it's using stormtrooper blasters.
Yep. I went back to see what
Wow.
I had old on Flickr because that's the only thing I can access. This is one of the first things I have on Flickr. Let's go to it here.
That's not
Now,
bad.
it's not horrible, but the trees are a little challenging.
All right, let's indulge. I'm gonna bring up Flickr here. What's challenging you about the trees? Because for what year was this, first of all? Any idea?
No, but they're little sprightly, I would say.
The half tutor
But I don't know.
like framing on that is gorgeous.
It's actually pretty good. And this part down here, I actually
Yeah.
kind of like.
And for
But
that
there's,
time, assuming it's
I
20
don't know.
years ago, like my stupid ship.
Yeah, it's not 20 years ago, but it's a while ago for sure.
No, Brick
Um,
Dad builds. That's why I needed to sculpt the captains so he
yeah,
looked unlike the background characters. Um,
but part
and still
part of
had the
this here, right? I took
obviously an
yeah,
18th century beard and goatee. But yeah, your hair on point, sir.
on point. Yeah, I mean part of this here too is just like the photo work. Like obviously I didn't know what I was doing with the camera either, right? Same thing with the pirate ship you had is it's like, it's obviously like a piece of paper with a presentation background thing stuck behind it. The
Oh,
lighting's not
and you can see
not
the corner.
great.
The same thing. You can totally see the corner.
Yeah, it's like didn't know what I was doing in that regard and just like let's get enough light so it's not blurry.
Mine has the
Apparently,
exact same corner in it. Yes.
yeah, looks like I'm strangling a goat here. This guy is here.
You might be. That is
Yeah.
kind of your sense of
Also,
humor.
I can tell that these were stuck on top of antennas because I can see the top of the antennas sticking out
It's like
to
I don't
form the
even know
trees.
if anyone's watching anymore. Like you and I
So
are just definitely on
that's okay,
Mark
man.
and Ben tear. I'm totally fine with this as well.
That's
I
okay.
we're in the middle of
So,
a
so
close
then
call. Like
here's
which ship is better?
here's a more recent thing, and like you can tell, like the
This.
style's cleaner and the photo work is cleaner, but it's not. This has got its own charm, I guess, but it's clearly not the same thing. So what do you have over there that you're
I'm
cackling at?
sorry. I did not mean to interrupt you.
No, I'm
I
ready.
did,
I'm ready to see
you know
it.
how badly I need attention. My first post on Flickr. Here, let's just. How is Flickr still a thing?
Good question.
Hi.
It's dying a
And am I
slow death
paying
for
for it
sure.
still?
Yeah, I know. Me too.
This is the lowest death ever. This is it.
I think it's because they have a
No,
bunch
I
of
can't
us
hit the
on.
button.
They had us on yearly subscriptions, and then they switched us over to monthly, and we've just been too chicken to cancel or have forgotten. Okay. All right. Nice trees. Nice trees. I'm gonna say.
Because that's how trees grow
Yeah.
directly out.
I'm gonna say, you have these gigantic trees on one side, and then the little teeny tiny trees on the other side.
Don't worry. By the way, it ends right here at the upper left corner. Don't let the my website brickzone.net, where I told the comic book or wrote the comic book Fabuland Housewives. Don't let that fool you. It does not go past this exact point. That is where this tree stops.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, works for me. I
That's
don't
some
have
anime.
much to say about
Oh,
it.
I stepped on the dog. I didn't realize she came down.
Oh, poor
Um,
puppy.
no, she slept through it.
She slept through you kicking her.
Yeah. Oh my
Oh.
god, she's a badass.
All right.
Look at this lamppost.
it doesn't give me pareidolia. It gives me persondolia.
It gives me like a what are those the kickboxer things that you have the things that like
Oh yeah. Then you like got to duck after you kick it and stuff.
what did I use? Oh, those are Technic pin connectors. Oy. And you know what I used to get the so you see a walrus here and you see a minifig um the chef's hat on him.
Yep.
Sculpey. I shoved Sculpey inside and
To get it to
pushed it on his
stay.
head. Yeah. That's all you need. Just
Yeah.
basic physics, kids.
Hey.
And look at he's obviously Scandinavian. Look at the trim around his bakery windows.
Very Vikingy. Yeah.
What is this?
How many years has it been since you worked for Legoland? It's been a number.
I quit in 2013.
Right after we met, I convinced you to
Yeah.
quit and move back to Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not what happened.
No,
But
it's
that's
not,
okay.
no.
No, that
You
was
You didn't have to tell everyone our secret.
there's like that's a pretty good interior, I think, actually.
Yeah, I like that. They got the safe up top for all the loads of cash they're bringing in from this sweet bakery.
My favorite is making couples out of animals that wouldn't be able to reproduce children. Love it.
A walrus and a hippo.
Yeah.
They'll make a whippo.
Oh, look at this. What does this say? How does this stay on? Sculpey,
And you say it, and you
for
tell
the
everyone.
win.
Mhm,
Oh, what happened to him, man? He was good.
mhm.
He was really good. I think the snotted fence as shelves is inspiring. Look at the rolling
Inspired.
pin. Look at the rolling
That
pin.
rolling pin's amazing.
Thank you, sir.
I
I
I
was
need 2 of them.
Yep. All you need is a lightsaber blade in gray, 2 half pins, and the pin
Protector
connector.
joint. Yep, the pin
Yep, I
connector.
like those. Yep. Mhm.
Looks pretty awesome. That's as close to People Zoo as I've seen for a little while here. I like that. Well, that excites me.
I forgot about this one. I love this one. This
And everyone
one,
laughed at me for People Zoo, and here it is in action.
I could rebuild this and bring it to Chicago, and it would seem like oh God, what year did I post this? I mean, this had to have been.
It'd still be sweet today.
Oh my God, this had to have been like in the mid. I would say this was like 2009. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I can find those parts pretty quickly. There's that one. We don't need to keep doing this, by the way. Cut me off at any time.
Nah,
We
nah,
can
nah.
control that.
We're having fun here. Here's, it's nice to see the mock evolution. It's okay. All right.
What is happening with the rock work here?
You are. Let me just say, you are still chasing the perfect vineyard house.
I'm
um, it's got the little water wheel, the little waterfall. It's the
There
same.
are
The water and the
vines.
house are the same color.
Look at the vines. I would say
They're
the half
everywhere.
tutor adding the half tutor to the Familyland pieces is probably one of the strongest.
It's nice. I don't mind that at all.
It's I don't either the rock work the rock work. Oh, there's been comments here. Hold on. Let's see. Brick Dad, it's you and I and Brick Dad builds basically. I mean, and
That's okay.
Stuart and Rob are still here.
That's
Let's
okay,
just
man.
go with a retro vibe. Scarecrow frame.
Yeah, that's what that lamppost was.
Yep. OG Animal Crossing. Oh,
Oh,
trigger.
you got to watch yourself, Brick Dad.
Trigger.
Brought yourself. All right,
Wow.
so let's
This
do
is
this.
hilarious. Okay, get me off here. 'Cause
This
we'll just
is
do this all
the.
night. Yeah,
So
thank
we
you.
already talked about this. This is
Yeah,
my
yeah.
first sort of domestic medieval build on Flickr, and then here's the most recent domestic-y one. So they're a little different,
Yeah, some time has passed.
but you can kind of tell, like, there's still some DNA in the two of them, but
Hold
quite a bit
on.
different.
Ben. You want to see the mock? I'm sorry. You want to see the mech? The mech mock? The mock mech? That
I do want to see your mech.
I got nominated for best mech for this.
Yes, I'm excited. Well, duh. Okay.
Talk about a taint.
Question.
Yeah.
What are all the letters doing next to him there? Is this a mail delivery?
This was
taint
based.
bot?
This was based off of something I found early into the Blockoverse. Me found this weird, like it was actually Street Fighter, but it was like someone did a fake Street Fighter set, and instead of using Lego as like the manufacturer of it in this fake set,
Yeah.
they used a company called Block Block.
Okay.
So I had a Block Block competition on Eurobricks, and it was Street Fighter, so they had like a background, but they were fighting in a park, but there was a weird background, and so the set was just like a random wall in the middle of a park and like people fighting. So I was like, and I lost my mind. I completely lost my mind about it. I
Because you
somewhere
loved it, or because it terrified you?
because it was so hilarious. It blew my mind. Like I don't know how I felt about it still. And so I'm sure on Eurobricks, if I did some searching, I could find the actual thread. Lego TV wants to know what's wrong with the rock work. I didn't mean to insult anyone, but it makes me laugh considering what I do now with rock work. It made me laugh really hard because well, first of all, it's stuck to the base plate. It's a square. It's a perfectly square mountain. That was the thing that hit me really hard about it. Also, it was like mostly there was like barely any snot in it. Brick Dad Build says tree quality is much improved. Thank you. I would say he's probably talking about yours, Ben.
Yeah.
Because I don't know Brick Dad builds has been around long enough to see my cherry trees. Because mine certainly has. Because I can't
quality.
believe that was a tree that I made.
Yeah.
So this because it was like just a random wall in a park, and there was a couple other things that had nothing to do with anything else. I didn't know it was a Street Fighter thing, so like apparently they did have something to do. Yeah, it is very RoboCop-ish, isn't it?
Mhm.
But yeah, there were also weird things like so these block cops. So it just had to be like something that didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And
So there's
so
a mailbox down there on
there's
the
a
leg,
mailbox
on the
because
foot.
how are you going to mail something to the foot of a mech? But I looked this up because there was a specific style I wanted, and I'll always remember this. It was like it was a bull-toed chicken leg walker mech because there's like
Kind of
uh
Star Wars-esque in that regard, but
precedence for these, and I
yeah.
I I made this custom torso. Let me see if I have pictures of that. Of course, it has Fabulous Mail there too.
Why
I
wouldn't
made
it?
this I
There they
made these
are.
custom torso. That's a custom head. That's a custom torso because I used to do that sort of thing with water slide decals. Um, and then there he is. Yep. I made this. I made
Oh,
that.
look how fancy that is, even with the arm water slides.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
I, which since I wanted to do it, sorry, I wanted to do it solid so that you wouldn't lose like the shading and everything. I actually cut these out because like you can't print solid colors on transparent water slide decal paper.
Yeah.
Maybe I should put the vape pen down if I'm gonna choke. Wow, this is a different life. And I sculpted this with an X-Acto knife. No, I didn't.
I'm about to say that looks legit there.
Yeah, there's the
The
whole
monkey with
family.
the black arms and the red hands, he's like wearing wearing sleeves, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know either. But look at the greebling. Look how impressed I
That's
was that I took a close up of this.
that is quality Greebles. Wow,
Impressed
look at
with
you,
myself.
Mr. Greeble man.
That's why I got nominated for Best Back
Yeah.
at Brickworld Chicago 20. I would say it was 2009.
Okay.
This
This was
happened.
this is the only mech I've ever had get nominated.
That's
It's
a good one.
pretty solid. It's
What
not
year was
bad.
that?
I want to say 2018 maybe.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
I like the story it's telling.
Yeah, I like the name. It's a Blacktron Harvester, and he's got the little
Yeah.
mechs crawling along with him. But now we've got that one versus this one. So it's there's some differences between the two. I think the Harvester was still pretty good, but this is more chonkified for sure, more presence.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the other one's not bad. I'm gonna say it wasn't hilarious, but there was no mail. Nobody was mailing anything to his feet. So,
Right.
So we got that going for us.
All right. Unfortunately, I need another bathroom break. So maybe we should get to the end of this close call and see if the tainted are even still here.
Yeah. We got
and see if
on
they,
quite the tangent there, but
Black Seas Barracuda versus Skull's Eye
here,
Schooner.
here we're back to it.
I
Black
think
Seas
most people.
Barracuda or Skull's Eye.
Skull's Eye Schooner is winning. I think I'm the only person who voted for Black Eyes? Wow.
Black Seas.
Black Eyes Blogger Bluger.
Black Seas. Apparently we put Hope Castle to sleep.
Well,
hey, no one's telling you have to stay, Reed. But whatever, man. Whatever. So I guess it seemed like at first Mark's. This is what's funny about this close call. Mark's immediate reaction was, "Oh, it's the Skull's Eye Schooner, no question." And he backtracked all the way for voting for Black Seas, and he's like the only one who voted for Black Seas. I'm gonna say if I was choosing between Black Seas, the Skull's Eye Schooner, or Mark's Lion Ship, I mean, that Lion Ship looked like it had a lot more pieces. It was definitely slightly more castle-y, but that lion head on the front was basically amazing. That's the kind of work that got Mark a job at Legoland. So you too could have a job at Legoland if you build swanky pirate ships. But we'll move back. This one, like I said, is a better quality picture. But here's another nice look at the Black Seas Barracuda. I would say this is probably the most iconic pirate set. That does not mean it's the best. And I think we've had this discussion and debate any number of times, especially when we're talking about my favorite set of all time. And by favorite, I mean least favorite. That would have to be Yellow Castle, which I give a big boo for the insane reverence that it gets. But I can't deny that it is very iconic. Brick Dad's voting for the Barracuda. So at least we got a pair of Barras.
Yeah.
2 people voting for the Barracuda.
New favorite member. Not
Yeah,
that I judge you all.
He looks
I
like
don't.
he looks like Captain Ishmael or whatever you called him.
I don't know. I'll look up and see if I can find a character name and tell him what his name is.
With the
I'll
similar
tell you what your
vibe
name
there.
is. Yeah,
So
100%.
I don't know. I think it truly was a close call. I'm guessing a lot of people
Yeah.
were maybe just not into Pirates or voting for the Pirates today, but that's okay.
Or all of our old mocks, for that matter. I would say, and as we transition to do you have another close call, by the way?
No.
Good. Well, that was a good one. It went for quite a while. Even
we gotta vote for Lionship.
Lionship. Ah, thank you. I think it's the
his
most
ship.
realistic.
Yeah.
I was gonna say before.
Aged late, but saying Barracuda as well.
Nice. See, Barracuda's making a comeback. It's just
Yeah.
this was one of the first sets that had that window shutter in it too.
Yeah, the latticed window piece.
And just in case anyone's wondering why we laughed at Reed falling asleep on our stream, this is what happens when Ben and I stop at his stream.
Holds these in place. Armory. Here's my staircase.
Dear Lord, man.
This big opening here.
Yeah.
This is for the public to view inside. This is cavern under the castle. So dragons live here, right?
Oh my God, yes.
Level 1 dungeons. We got kitchens. This is a double high. This is the grand hall.
No. You know,
like the grand hall. Like the grand hall.
Woof.
we make fun happen. I hear that this looks amazing now. I forget who told me that.
Good.
Or when maybe I dreamed it. I don't know. I hope it's true though.
I have a thought now based on what I just saw that I'm gonna share with you later. Okay, so
Thought?
next question. That is, what's next on Run a Show?
Yeah.
And here it is. It's time for the rant, Mark's favorite segment.
It is.
Which means we, of course, need a timer, which always takes me a minute to pull up.
I'm getting ready with the music this time.
The lame thing about the timer is it always ends up dominating the screen. But what can we do?
I don't know. Did you figure it out this week?
I still haven't, no. But that's okay. So here we go. Let's bring it up.
Piece of cake. You going first?
Sure, I can go first.
All right.
Ready?
Yep.
Lego, we have brought up multiple times on this stream that we have one particular dislike in this world, and that is brick separators. We don't have enough of them. We don't. Mark wants them in every room of his house. We know I have some in my silverware drawer. My problem is you are being too elitist by only putting them in $50 sets. They should be in poly bags. They should be in collectible minifigs. They should be in $5 sets. They should be in $10 sets. They should be in $15 sets. I can name all the price points, but I won't because my point is the same. There should be a brick separator in every single set. I do not have enough brick separators, and if you start including them in all of the $50 sets, which 90% of the sets cost $50 now, why don't you just go the whole way and put them everywhere so I have all the brick separators I need?
Yeah, it's like I said, it is it needs to be attached to every piece, like just make
basically. Or we need, body modification. We need to modify one of our fingers to become a brick separator.
I would do that.
I
100%.
I have a specific idea of which finger I might want to be the brick separator, but I won't share that tonight.
Yeah. I
But yeah, I mean, I only have one sitting here.
I
I
have it down
need
to
more.
3 that I would want it to be. But I would do all 3 actually.
Yeah, for a while people were into like splitting their tongues or like doing weird things to their eyes to make them look like lizards. Let's do
No,
a
there was
body
the
mod so that we have a brick separator finger.
like the body ridges that they put under
Yeah.
their I
Ugh.
think they did. I love Project One. I love I love Project Runway, by the way.
Hey,
And it's a guilty pleasure. I don't know why I love
it's
it. I
fine.
don't give a rat's ass about fashion, but I love that show. And they did
Okay.
one that was like a special challenge on body modifications. Yes, sir.
Yeah. We'll talk about this. Okay, so you say Project Runway. I like any of the shows where they build anything. I don't even care what it is. I've watched Forged in Fire, which is people building knives.
Oh,
I've
that's
watched the
great.
special effects one, which was called Face Off.
I don't know
I
that one.
watched Project Runway. I watched the
So
cake
good.
baking shows. I I don't do any of these things. And here's the thing. The
Yeah.
one show about building stuff that I can't stand watching, what is it?
Lego Masters.
Thank you. I
It's
feel like that could
overproduced.
have been its own segment.
Yeah, I think
But
we mini ranted in between rants, and it's by the way, no offense
funny,
against anybody who's been on it because we know several people have been on it and we love them to
we
pieces.
do. We
It's just
do.
when it comes down to the production value of it, it's barf inducing. Just to put it lightly,
And how see great pottery throwdown. There's another one on Netflix, Blown Away, where they're doing glass.
I've never heard it. I need to
Blown
watch
Away.
it now. I need to
Yeah.
watch it right away.
Yeah.
I
So
do
the
not, sir.
I don't have 32 teeth. I don't know how many I have. It's
I
probably only
have
like 28. I don't know.
what's 32 plus 4? I have 36 because
Wow.
my wisdom teeth are fitting, so I only occasionally have mouth pain. I should probably just get them removed.
Yeah, you might as well.
That's why I have all these things pushing out here now.
So anyway, you were saying about Project Runway,
Oh, there was a challenge where they
the
had
body
to design around the
modification
body.
piece. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I think I completed. I think I
Okay, good.
completed that thought.
I was just making sure. Yeah. So
Face is
that's
32
crazy that
teeth.
we're all into all of these things. You and I. It's probably just creative people being into creative stuff.
Look at this
But
guy.
like, yeah, Lego Masters Australia.
I like it. I like it a lot because they just
It's
let the
more about
people
the
be
mocks, right?
themselves.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, and it's less about the like cheesy and they a lot of
Great flower
these
fake.
shows are going to do like they're going to have guest judges and they're going to be promoting something. Monica Berry is here. I was wondering
She
where
checked
have
in
you
briefly and then
been?
had to run out to get her kid, and now she's back.
I must have also been off while she checked in, either
Yeah, could have been.
feeding the dog or peeing the 3 times that I've done so since the stream started tonight. Um, uh, I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, it's the so when they have guests on Lego Masters, it's like R2D2 or Mayim Bialik, and they don't stick around to judge. They're not even guest judges. They're literally there to just like shove commercials into Chris Pratt. Oh, it's so painful. That was probably one of the worst episodes.
I'm sure part of it though is that it's difficult to justify. Oh, I've got to pay this person to come, and then they have to stick around for 8 hours, or they can leave and come back 8 hours later for the judging or whatever. But apparently they're
Sure,
not worth paying them to do it. I don't know.
sure. It may
I
have
don't
something to do with that, but
know.
also at the same time, then just bring them in to judge. Don't bring
Yeah.
them in for the earlier parts. I think so. For me, like the first season, they contacted me a lot, and then they decided that people who used to work for Legoland weren't eligible, and then they kept calling me to find out things about the Lego community because they knew I owned Brickworld at that point. Um, and like I was getting like ludicrously excited, which I used to work as an actor, and so I know not to get excited about things. But I would like the conversations I had with them. I was starting to be like, "Oh my god, this is going to bring Brickworld in a new direction. If I can be part of this in this way, if they still want me involved in the production of the show, even though I can't be on it." And it really got my hopes up pretty bad. Um, and so like once the first season was cast, I got myself back to the point where I used to be when I was acting. I was just like, if it comes, it comes. I was very calm about it. But then I watched the first season.
You were like, ah.
It was cringe inducing. I'm like, could never put myself in this position because I could never be produced that way. Like I know too much about it to like they seem scripted in the first season. Second season, I think they let them be a little bit more themselves, but I think because a lot of the producers they couldn't put so many producers on the set at the same time because COVID. And so I
Yeah.
think why season 2 is the most tolerable to watch,
Yeah.
and that's my conclusion. I like at this point, it's hard to imagine being on the show because of what's expected of them to just be the cheesy
Right. I think
dork.
it's also one of those things where if you don't win a season at this point, even if you do, you know, I'm not sure you get the same run that you did if you were season 1 or 2.
Of course, that's same with anything.
Yeah, and that's not unexpected, I
Right.
guess. I'm sure I will say this, there are plenty of builders out there that could be on the show from a
Yeah.
building perspective, but are you a right fit for the show is a completely different question. And I think everyone, understands that at this point.
So, and
But
I've auditioned twice now, and they're obviously looking for like diversity. They I don't want to say too much just in case. We have a good relationship with them still with Brickworld.
yeah,
They let us use their logo and stuff, but they're looking for specific things. Like
sure,
and it
sure,
may not always be the best builder, um, but they're producing a show.
yep,
And I think it feels like they've let it become more of that here than they have in Australia or even the UK. Like the UK is very much these are the Lego builders, and
yeah.
that is their skill. And we don't care if you're bored to tears. That this is what the show is about.
Well, I think
No, I
we would
don't get
still
excited about things.
you don't.
Sorry.
We might watch that. We might be more attracted to that, but is that what they're going for?
Right.
You know. But
And I
as we just discussed, you and I are the one we're watching Project Runway and
yeah
Blown Away and Forged in Fire.
yeah.
Things we'll like never do.
And to
And
be honest,
it could be in the case of those shows, the people in those communities feel the same way. Like, oh, I love Lego Masters. I cannot watch Project Runway.
like I think one of our friends would disagree with Reed here. Um, I think he would feel insulted by that comment, judging by his job on the show. I would
Sure.
say that I've enjoyed multiple aspects of every season. Just to be positive and not be Mr. Complainy, because I feel like I'm a bit of a rut at the moment because I'm just like because we're a week away from Brickworld. I've enjoyed every season. Season 1, I had to watch on mute because I just could not listen. I could not listen to them talking at all. Season 2, I watched, enjoyed. Um, Season 3, I also watched and enjoyed because they seemed to be a little bit looser. I can tell when they were like being prompted to say what they were saying. And then season 4, I didn't finish, but it's only because I ran out of time because of Brickworld
Yeah.
stuff. And then the winner was spoiled for me on social media. But I would not. I oftentimes watched it while I was making dinner, and I would stop it or rewind it if I lost too much just to watch all the final builds because the creativity, no
Right.
matter the level, even when the judges would rip some stuff apart, I'd be like, but I love this part and I love this part. And that's what I loved about that. That's what I wish the show had been more about here on the US side. It's
Yeah.
just about the builds, just about the creativity, just about the process of building something out of Lego. Um, Instead of trying to like make it cheesy and fun and family friendly and
Yeah.
goofy jokes and
Having people walk off and be mad and pulling a moto at the end and having the build fall over. That's part of it, and that's part of all of the shows. But they get really bad with that on like some of the baking shows I've watched, like Halloween Wars and Christmas Battle and stuff, where they build these giant things out of cake and whatever else. There's always that, oh no, are they gonna drop it? And there's always that, I'm mad at you because you're not pulling your weight and I'm gonna storm off. I mean, they do some of that stuff too.
yeah.
For whatever reason, it annoys me a little bit, but I just look past it on those. But when it comes to the
Agreed.
Lego stuff, I'm like,
Same.
I
Totally
don't
the
care
same.
about that part. I want to see the
Yeah.
builds. So
And so if it does get canceled and somebody else picks it up, I hope they reproduce it to be more about that because I think that is interesting and people will find it interesting because someone like me who couldn't give a rat's ass about fashion, like, can't wait to see the next episode of Project Runway.
Mhm.
It's almost like Game of Thrones, where like I can't wait to see what happens next week. Like I get to the end of the episode, I'm like, I can't believe I have to wait an entire week to see what happens next. Um, I'm not going to read this out loud, but I agree wholeheartedly with what Brick Orphanage said right here.
Well, believe it or not, none of that was Mark's rant.
None of it actually.
So let's pull it up.
Let me get my music going.
And hey, mine was Lego brick separators in every set, $5 set, $10 set, poly bag, collectible minifig. I don't care. I need more brick separators.
Yep.
Mark, what are we ranting about today?
I'll tell you. Go ahead and start the timer.
Let's go.
Oops, wrong song. Anyway, I've started. So, Bricklink. Only as parts packs. And so, yeah,
Your mic was too far away. We couldn't hear you there.
you couldn't hear me.
Hey, that was crazy. I couldn't hear
That's
you. All right.
insane.
All right, go ahead.
All right,
Start again.
ready?
Go.
Okay, Bricklink. Whoever runs you nowadays. I buy sets as parts packs, and so I only open them when I'm looking for a specific part. So I go to Bricklink to find out what set has what part in it when I need them. Say when Caleb designed something for our collab, and I'm like, oh, that looks like an easy window, and no, it's ludicrously complicated. So I have to find parts that I don't even know if I have. And they're in, say, something like the Jurassic Park T-Rex, giant T-Rex. Well, guess what? There's like 15 of the parts that I need in the set, but I don't know what bags they're in, so I have to read through the instructions to find out what bag they're in. So Bricklink, when you list the inventory, why can't you tell us what bag number the part is in? And while I'm at it, Lego, why can't you put the piece inventory on the parts? You put the number, you print the number on the parts. How much more would it cost to print the entire inventory of that bag on the bag? Why am I doing this much work? I think this is definitely on you guys. Done.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
I'm sitting here. I have 20 minutes to build, and I'm reading the instructions of, actually, with the Disney train. And I'm like, it's not in this book, because there's 4 books in the Disney train. And I'm like, maybe this, I don't know. Yeah, we started something with this. I think, so part of it is, for me, in what I've experienced with what they're doing, they're producing a show again. So they're trying to hit everything. They want to hit Lego skill. And so they fill it, but they found a bunch of white men do this. And that's part of the community as well. We are more likely to have the time, the money, and the freedom to be able to engage in a hobby like this.
Mhm.
And then they find their skilled builders, and they're like, but also let's fill out the demographics. Not to say that there aren't talented and skilled builders in those demographics, but then they like force in the rest of them. So they're almost like, it just kind of runs that way every season. It gets on my nerves because it's kind of like they're fodder for the fire. They're like, we brought these people in because they fill out all of the colors and the personalities we're looking for.
Yeah.
It becomes more a show about that.
Yeah. And it's Monica said the same thing, right? Apparently she's interviewed as well, and they're basically like, hey, get another woman. We want a dual woman team.
Heard that.
If you're a guy and a girl who are just friends and you aren't siblings or close family members, we're less interested in that. And that is part of how it works. I don't begrudge them either. It's just like Mark said, it is a show. It's probably exactly the same for a lot of these other shows too.
Yeah.
Though Project Runway, I think it probably skews towards there's probably a lot of women and homosexual designers on there. That's probably also who they're targeting. But that might be a good chunk of the design population that's doing designing anyway.
I will say,
not 100% though, I'm sure, right?
That is, like, I don't begrudge them that, but I begrudge myself because in the first season I auditioned with Tim, and like Tim was like, I would only do this with you. And I hope he doesn't feel that way because I think he'd be great on the show. And if they're not gonna, if
He's
I'm gonna
definitely
bring,
skilled enough to do it.
no
And
kidding,
he definitely has
He's
some
fast.
personality when he
Yes, he does.
You know,
In our
and he gets excited.
in our interview with the producers, I was like, who is this person? Um, I was
Yeah.
like, suddenly he's an extrovert. What's happening? But then when they hit me up again in season 3, they were like, oh, well, maybe if you can find like, do you know any? And that was the thing they asked me in the first season. They were like, how many women do you know? Like they were like, I sent them so many Facebook profiles of my. I was basically shopping through Facebook for my black and female Lego friends, and I was
Yeah.
like, this feels a little
Felt a little weird.
dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when they hit me up in season 3, I was like, well, make myself as diverse as possible. So I found so Nicole and I auditioned together.
There you go.
She's a
She's funny.
lesbian.
She's
She's
loud.
hilarious. Y-
She's hilarious.
Oh,
Yep.
she is a character and a half.
She is. I love her.
She's a diesel mechanic,
Mhm.
and now she's also disabled.
Yep.
Or, I'm sorry, she has different abilities now. I'm
Different
sorry.
abilities. Yeah.
You guys, I'm 47. So it just comes out sometimes. And it was like, and then we didn't get cast either. But the casting directors loved us, and then well, I won't put that part into it. But they expressed that because they're separate from the company, from the producers. The casting producers are different than the
Yeah.
actual show producers.
Yep.
They're like, and they told us basically like, if we were casting the show, you would have made it further. And it was kind of like, also, it is the preferred term. Thank you. Differently abled is gone. It was a flash in the pan. Is that right?
Maybe. I
Um,
don't know.
and it just felt weird because
Nicole hurt her foot, and that's caused all kinds of interesting issues for her.
like ludicrous issues. Like the poor girl. Like I
Yeah.
can't.
She's
she's been
if
through
you
so
went,
much.
yeah, if you meet her at the show, and you probably will, Chicago.
Yep.
She's oftentimes at the merch booth. She does
She's
other
always at
things.
the merch booth.
I love talking to her. She is so fun.
And she is part of
So.
the tables that I'm giving you. So that's at least you're sharing with someone who you love.
Awesome.
I adore her. She was working today too with the collating of stuff. But like, just to be honest, like, and I'm all in now. I felt really bad about like spurring Tim. Like I want to audition again, but like my chances are better if I have a disabled lesbian
Yeah.
on my team instead of you. And he was like, well, if you have a better chance, go for it. And I was like, oh, thanks. That felt bad. And then we didn't make it anyway. And then I felt even dirtier because it wasn't even.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'm done. I am done with this.
Well, we could try getting Tim a disabled lesbian too, and see if he could take his own run.
Love each other. They would be the perfect team.
They would be great.
Like take me out, put them on. Let's do it.
Yeah, they would be
Let's
great.
Ben, you and I, let's make that happen.
Yeah, we can try. I don't think
It's
it'll work.
It's my goal in life now.
Which one do you want to work on? Nicole, and I'll try Tim, or you want to switch? To push them. Who are you pushing? Who am I pushing?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to email the producers. I was going to straight to the vein.
You were going to shortcut it.
Yeah.
Works for me.
But yeah, I don't think it would take too much for either one of us to sit down with both of them and be like, hey, you two are the team now.
Why not? Well, we will talk about you every Sunday on our live stream for at least 20 minutes to hype
Just
you
put
up.
these. I would. Oh my god. I don't care how cheesy it got, and I don't think either Tim or Nicole are producible. If the producers like say this about Nicole,
That's true.
like,
I couldn't see Tim being like, "Yes, I'll do that," and Nicole would be like, "Are you kidding me?" She would laugh in their face. She'd be like, "You think you could tell me what to do?"
Which is why they probably wouldn't get cast because
Yeah,
that would be obvious in the producer meeting.
that's true. That's true. They could push me around though. I'd be.
I think that's why Tim and I didn't get very far because they asked about the age difference.
Yeah.
Like, oh, so is Mark like a father figure to you? And we are like, like maybe the other way around. Maybe I get bossed around by Tim and I wouldn't be able to tell him to do jack shit.
That is funny. I do like that.
And I think I even said the term, I'm like, I don't think we're producible. And so I think that maybe shot us in the foot.
Oh, you should not have done that.
Oh,
that's all right.
but I think that was the right foot to lead with, because if I hadn't, let's say somehow we got cast out of the like millions of people who auditioned,
Mhm.
and then I got there and they were trying to like feed me lines, I'd have been like in hell. So probably a good thing to lead with.
Yeah. Well, and this way you and Tim can stay friends. So there's always that.
I don't think anything would stop Tim from being any of our friends.
Well, that might be true.
I've
but-
you and I have both, well, not you, I much more so, have stressed him out insanely, and he has never. He went on TV for me, for all the live shots, and he was like, "Never do that to me again." And he's, I think, more than willing to do so now.
Well,
But
that's
yeah,
good.
something he was totally uncomfortable with. He's like, "You asked me, so I did it." He's like, "But don't do that to me again." I was just like, because she, like, once they decided it was him, like, and she was not like about like going up and like coddling and starting anything. The woman who does the Around Town segment here on WGN, she was just, so she's just like, okay, we're live. So Tim, tell us about this. And he was like, I didn't realize we were 5 seconds away from being live. Like, and the segment lasted like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
And typically we get 2.5. That's the typical standard, is like you get 2.5 minutes for a live segment. She went on with him forever, but it was the year we did a potion shop, and so he had
Oh, Potion
this-
Shop was fun.
the smoking dragon. I've been rambling for like 5 minutes straight. I'm
We've
sorry.
been rambling about lots of stuff today. This is just
This
like
is
me and you were
fantastic.
here, and no
I
one else
know.
is here.
And we invited people in case they wanted to to chime in. But it was gonna be what it was. We
Hey,
didn't plan it that way.
we've got you. I
guys
didn't
wanna
even know
comment,
when
feel
you were
free.
going to be here. I
Yeah.
was sitting here with my tacos
I
on the
forgot.
table, like
I told you I'd update you when I left the Renaissance.
yeah. I didn't get any texts or anything.
Nope, you didn't.
I'm just sitting here eating my taco, like, all right, what am I gonna do until Mark gets here? Maybe this is gonna be like a 45-minute show.
100%.
And then I'm like,
And
I'm
I-
drinking my soda, just like, all right, we're a minute out from starting. And then all of a sudden Mark shows up. He's like, hey.
I only remember that now, that I told you I would text you when I left the Renaissance. I, by the way, texted like 4 people as I was leaving the Renaissance. Like like Alex, I was just like, all right, I'll get you these answers. And like Phoebe and Dustin, Jesus, Phoebe and David. I was just like, okay, this is done. I'll be home for like 45 minutes before I can actually. I'll only be home for 45 minutes before the live stream starts. And then I texted Melanie from Windy City Lug, to be like, hey, I need to like, oh, I don't want to tell her what I told her because it'd be a surprise for Windy City Lug for helping me out today. So pretend you guys didn't hear that part. Monica Berry says, the more I thought about it, the more I realized I enjoy just being in the community. Did you already read that one?
I put it up. Yeah. So
Oh,
no,
I'm
I didn't.
sorry.
We didn't
Yeah.
read it. We didn't read
I
it.
agree,
But
I agree about that as well. It's
Yeah.
like I do not. I'm on TV all the time. First of all, I don't need to be part of this version of Lego Masters. That is not
Yeah.
a hope or dream of mine anymore.
so so I wanna throw this out there. You build with Eurobricks.
Yeah.
Perhaps 2 of the people who are the most shy would be some guy named Tim Lighty, and then this other guy, Ben Hauger, Z Cerberus.
Right.
And you forced one of them to audition for a TV show for you. The other one you make do a live stream with you every week.
Because everyone needs to experience
So-
both of you.
I see.
I think Tim asked me if I would audition for Lego Masters with him.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Well, that's fair then. Then I don't.
I go to him?
I don't know.
I'll have to ask him which one of us came up with the idea. Maybe I did go to Tim.
Who knows?
I don't know.
That's just the Mark
However-
effect. Is hey, let's push you guys out the door.
But I also have a box of pieces and sets for you to give away to the public because you do like to get to know people. And you do like to get to talk to people.
I do.
So
I do
when you're
befriend
inspired
them.
by people, or like you find people that need some that you want to bring, that may not feel like they're ready to be brought into the community, you give them something
I try
based
that a little
on
bit.
some of
Yeah.
the live stream, based on some of your style. I think
Some of
there's a
that.
few parts I haven't told you about. I think we decided on one today because it wouldn't fit in the goodie bag. I'm sorry, it wouldn't fit in the volunteer parts. So I was like, screw it, give me that. We'll give it to Ben.
Yeah. Yeah, and because you forced me to do this, I've have a budding rivalry with Reed. And
know.
I have a new BFF in Monica Berry because we both agree about your Art Deco stylings. I know Paige now pretty well. So there's a lot of it. And part of this here, of course, and I'm just going to say this because when we get to Brickworld, I'm sure some people will come up and say, hey, I see you on the stream. I love you on the stream. because of my introvertness, I might not connect the dots or remember your name. It is nothing to do with you. That is all because when you're talking to me, my first thought is, oh God, I hope I don't say something stupid. And I completely forget what you tell me.
Well,
So come up to me a couple times. It's not you, it's me.
Rob Claxton
So
and Michael Fujiwara both came up to me and they're like, Mark, good to see you again. And I was like, hey, I'm pretty good with faces and names. And I was like, I drew a total blank. And I was like,
mhm. Hey,
how
you.
was your
Yeah.
trip? Like, I was floored because like I had no facial recognition whatsoever. They're like, we watched the live stream, and I was like,
Hey.
that was a first. I was like, oh, oh wow, yeah,
We
yeah,
do
yeah.
we do have this. So my 10-year-old, who will be 11 at Brickworld,
That's right.
he will talk to anyone. So if you come up to him and say, "Hey, Ben, love you on the stream," and I'm like, "Who are you? Get away." Just say, "Miles, I love you on the stream too," and he will start talking to you.
And where are you going for Miles's 11th birthday?
We are going to medieval times.
Whoa.
Boom. He's pumped for that. I'm pumped to take him to that.
Yeah.
We're all pumped.
I would say, uh, before we end tonight, we'll hit up those sponsors I ignored earlier. Monica Berry says my brick badge says both my real name and Monica Berry. And you met me at the Christmas show, so no excuses.
I
Yeah,
don't have any excuses with you,
you
Monica.
gave us gifts.
I even took a picture with you.
Somewhere in this world is that gift you gave me, and I will find it and I will wear it. I don't know when that's going to happen. I can't believe it's somewhere in the storage unit. I like dropped off from Holiday Joy, and I'm like, oh, I'll just put it here, and I'll pick it up tomorrow.
Yes, Lego Team B, I am sure. Because like I said, the getaway is me internally, not you. But if you come back a second time, I'm far less likely to think that. I might not remember your name right away. That does not mean that I won't if you introduce yourself to me a second or third time.
So Brick Dad Builds, is that your real name? Because like, by the silhouette of your beautiful hair and your name, I'm sure we chatted at Brickworld Milwaukee, but I don't see your face or hear your voice. So I'm very excited to find out who exactly you are. Are
Mhm.
you the dad who brought the influencer kids and we got you badges? Is that you? Because you're an awesome dad if you are. We had someone email us and just ask for media passes, and I was like, yes, you can be there for the whole week. So we just got them regular badges, so they can come in while people were setting up, interview people, like take footage. I'm just like, this is how we build the Lego community. Is like, if somebody asks a question like that, do you have media passes for my? It must not be because I don't think I think his sons were older than 10. I think they were teenagers, but like it was an awesome experience either way.
Yeah, maybe he's got 3, and the youngest one's just
Yeah, maybe, perhaps that's possible.
little Shelly. And my 8-year-old, she's a little shyer too. But both of my kids said,
Adorable
because
though.
I collabed with both of them this year, that they wanted to be kind of in the mix in the middle of everything I brought. So they're not going to be off to the side. They will be right there in the middle with me this year for sure. So
That's awesome.
yeah, because they're like, hey, we want to be by you, Dad, and play our Switch or whatever when people aren't talking to us.
And build with you.
But we want to be able to talk to people when they ask about stuff. So
And Ben, you're in Influencer Alley this year, right?
well, we
You're
are
you're bringing
doing a
all sorts of
show.
stuff.
Yes, I am.
No, I don't mean that.
I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is I did do the retrofit to make sure it is working, and I downloaded the software so required. I have to put some stuff back together on it, but the Gudamine, probably the first major thing we talked about on Think Outside the Blocks for our build blogs, will be making
Yeah.
a triumphant return to Brickworld, and one of our influencers will be playing Lego Minecraft on the Gudamine.
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 Fun alert for the Gudamine.
The Gudamine. If you don't know what the Gudamine is, go back and watch episode 6-ish.
Yeah, around there.
Or
Just
two.
watch 2, through 18 and you'll find it.
Yeah, for sure.
That is going to be fun. What influencer is playing Lego Fortnite with you?
That would be Epic Bricks. He's not really playing
Yeah.
with me, just so much playing. But Epic with a K Bricks.
I think once he knows that you're a Lego Fortnite fan and sees your videos on Lego Fortnite, I think he'll want you part of it. But
Oh,
we'll see what
maybe.
happens.
Who knows?
Dustin was, I'm sorry, D's Bricks was texting me like, does Ben's computer have this? I'm like, I'm done. I have no idea. Let's
Yeah.
put these people together. And so then Dustin was trying to text with both of you, and then finally he put the two of you together on his own as well. We're like, we
Yes.
don't need to be part of this conversation at all.
Ooh. Hey,
He's great.
the only thing
He's
that
awesome.
matters is that I have space to put it, and then I will hand the keys off to Epic Bricks, and there he goes. He can do his thing.
Yeah.
So
It'll be a fun little influencer alley this year. Yeah, we got the entire thing. Oh, let me see if I remember now. That doesn't ring a bell quite yet, but that's what my brain is also scrambled. So I'll think about that. It'll probably hit me. The influencer alley this year is bigger than what we've done before, and it's because we put D's Bricks together with ACOB, or the official host of Brickworld this year. And you can catch them on Thursday evenings at 8 p.m. And don't be surprised that they talk about Brickworld every week of the year. A lot of fun, great guys. They talk about all the new Lego sets that are coming out. They talk about lots of crazy stuff. They're the ones that started the medieval times tradition at Brickworld. They started the foosball tournament with M&R Productions, and they're just like a constant hype team for Brickworld Chicago. You can watch the most recent episode streamed 2 days ago with Ben and I both on it.
you're the only one on the thumbnail, but I was there too.
Yep. I know, right? And geez, that's
That's
an
okay.
odd cutout of me.
Right.
I'm like, what's happening in my face?
There's the Renaissance in the
And my
background there.
hair. Yep, and the Zelda set, plus the Zelda
Zelda
set.
set.
There's all sorts of stuff happening on that episode. We talk about that for a damn long time, which is fine. It was a good conversation. If you
We
guys
talked
like
about way more Brickworld there than we did here, for sure.
Lego, yeah, we barely talked because I'm a little burnt out on Brickworld. I just wanted to on the Brickworld live stream tonight. I just wanted to like have a little Brickworld break. If you guys are Lego Star Wars fans, 100% you want to check out ACOB. If you're not necessarily a Star Wars fan, they still talk about every aspect of Lego, so definitely check them out. As I talked about earlier, Mohawk does a lot of stuff for us. They're running the activity area this year, which we have not had before. We've taken all of the interactive stuff off the floor to try to make more room for mocks, but we ran out of space anyway. And we may be turning down people for the first time ever in the history of Brickworld. But we're going to be running the activity area in the ballroom this year to clear that stuff off of the floor. And Superhawk has agreed to manage that for us, and they're doing an excellent job. And they really, really love the community. They really love Brickworld, and they are just about making sure people are having fun. D's Bricks, as mentioned earlier, is one of our staff members, but also the person I go to when I need bricks. A lot of the bricks that I use on the live stream for the mocks that I build, I buy directly from him because he has a great inventory and he has great pieces. I've hooked him up with Ben, and now Ben is also doing the same thing. But this here is dsbricks.com, and he's got some great prices on regular Lego sets, something a third-party market seller doesn't normally have. But check out his prices if you guys are looking for something. It may not be like Walmart clearance prices or like Amazon 30% off here and there, but it's not what you would expect from a seller who doesn't work directly for Lego. So check out D's Bricks. He's got a lot of great what's it called inventory and prices, and he's a great person, so give him your money. How's that? Those are our buddies right there.
Yeah.
And in case you wanted to see it again, there it is, the Red Beard Runner
Ugh.
without women's underwear ads. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, whatever. Well, there we go. Oh, how did we take a show about nothing and still talk for 3 hours?
I don't know. I didn't even have a build. Matt's like, will you be done by 10? I was like, oh, easily, no problem. We will be, but we'll be done like right at 10. That was a 3-hour stream.
Yeah.
And I think, to be honest, I really needed this. I needed to hang out with Ben and the Tainted, of course. But I kind of ignored the Tainted for a while. I was like, oh, wait, are there comments? Because I'm
They-
just talking with Ben.
We got some of that too. There's only one weekend left for building. 1 week and 1 weekend, and then you got to start packing. I still have, a few things on the to-do list, as I mentioned, but I have decent confidence that I will not be building anything Wednesday morning before I leave. Decent confidence. That has not been the case in previous years.
I have
So,
confidence that I won't be building in my hotel room during the show.
well, that's something.
Hmm.
That's something.
Yeah, it's something.
So we're both taking it from here
Yeah.
to here.
And that's why I've cut all my personal displays. I would say, like, if you can leave me a space that's like, what is that, 20 by 25, I might try to squeeze mine in. But I'm sure I can find that space anywhere on the floor if I decide to bring one other mock that wasn't the orchard.
Yeah. Monica says I have no such confidence.
Sorry, Monica.
Does that mean Wednesday morning and in the hotel? I don't know. But yeah, I've got two mocks. I only have one that I haven't started yet, so that's no big deal. One that I have to finish. I'm not done with the Mara mock, but she has to help me with that.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
on
I've got
her.
just a little tiny bit left on the EV collab with the creepy dolls. So
Yeah,
if you love creepy dolls, come to the Eurobix display for sure.
Me too. I only have a little bit left on my portion of that too.
hmm And if you like hearing people rant needlessly for hours on end, you can always do this, like and
Yeah.
subscribe.
You should.
You can become a channel member if you really want to. You
Wait,
will then start understanding when we say it's a medieval hoodie or it's a lace-up tunic. You might start getting some of these strange things we talk about, and you'll
Yeah.
definitely start understanding what we mean in our meme songs, created, of course, by the ACOB garage band, and what's the right word? Lyricized by our chief brick officer, Mr. Mark over here.
Sure.
You're the lyricist for the
Yes.
ACOB garage band.
Yeah. I think
Um,
lyricize might actually be a word,
Lyricized.
but typically you
think
just
was
say
good.
lyrics by
Yeah.
CBO.
Monica, do not drive and build though.
Yeah, I was gonna
Little
say
tip
the same
from
thing.
me to you.
I brought up this one because I was like, no, you can do it. You can do it.
You can do it.
We believe
can
in
do
you.
it. And just remember, at this point,
Mm-hmm.
there are no mistakes. There are only happy accidents, Monica.
Mm.
What you build will be a happy accident, if nothing else. It will certainly not be a mistake.
That's correct. I love all of you. Thank you so much for your support, and we will see you in just over a week.
Welcome to Blockleverse, no souls around. Cheap sights and sounds, no life to be found. Photoshop toys on twin Siamese. Fathers and sons making IEDs. Welcome to the Blockleverse, everyone is checked. Water slides are funny, hands are grotesque. Car pest police, house cake topped off. Minnie's passed out, her head's popped off. Welcome to the Blockleverse, where dreams distort. Bad Photoshop, orphans in an eastern